You could be working for a company right now that needs or uses a third-party logistics company, but maybe you want to work with a BDM. Maybe you want to talk to a guy that makes truly this type of moving heavy things for companies his passion.
Yep, 100%. It's Bear Down Logistics at beardown-logistics.com. Corey Davis is the BDM.
He's the man.
His cell phone number is 386-212-0201. Call him if you need his services and need anything moved for a company shipped. Basically, they do all shipping for all size companies.
They have the vehicles, they have the personnel, they have all of that.
Yeah, semi-trucks down to box trucks, any size load. But maybe you are thinking, well, I don't personally need it, but if the business you work for needs it, they'll save your company money. They'll offer, the customer service that Corey will provide. Your business will be grateful that they have such a great resource through Bear Down.
And you look like a cool dude.
And if you do that, we'll give you a prize. We'll let you come in and watch the show. You'll be like, hey, I referred my business to Bear Down. They use them now. We'll hook you up.
I'll give you some of my secret. I've been rolling out some secret stickers and koozies. I'll give you some secret products, not even on the market yet.
Yeah. So if you want to find out any information about Bear Down, first you could talk to Corey Davis.
Talk to Corey. That would be the easiest thing to do.
He'll tell
he's
you.
Such a nice guy. Yeah, he can customize it. Anything you need, he can do that for you.
Yeah, but if your company needs anything shipped, it's beardown-logistics.com.
It is another corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hey.
We do have a guest, but before I intro said guest, I know you have some business. You always have business. What is the business you have today?
Well, the Arnold Palmer Invitational is this weekend. We'll be out there on Thursday. I know some BDMs are going to be out there. They emailed me like, hey, I'll see you on Thursday.
Yes.
If you want the discounted ticket, you can get your ticket through tomanddan.com. We've got a partnership with the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
We do.
And you can get the lowest price ticket in the White Claw fan deck out of the whole internet through our portal through tomanddan.com.
Indeed.
Portal.
Yeah, we have a portal
That's
now.
what it's called. Internet portal.
We have a lot of new things while you were gone. We have a portal. We have a dynamic lead.
Dynamic lead?
What does that mean?
I can't tell you. It's just revolving advertisements at the top of our website.
We've got this thing called demo information.
We have demo.
Yeah.
And then Tom's got to rotate the CTAs.
Yeah. Got to rotate them.
Rotate those CTAs.
They get worn in the middle if you don't. Young professors here. From the Savannah Bananas. How you doing, Matt?
I am a little beat up after a long, awesome weekend in I was going to say Savannah. We were in Jacksonville. I don't even know where I am anymore. But I'm great. I'm great otherwise.
Yeah, you have been working, man.
World tour, right?
Before we start with what happened yesterday, I want to complain for a minute.
Of course you do.
So
we can't talk
Good
about
way
the
to
fun
start.
we had.
Good way to start.
The last time the young professor was in, he offered the whole show some super coveted tickets to
access.
Access.
I don't want anybody thinking that this guy peeled his banana and handed us peeled off the peels and said, you're getting in there. That's not how it works.
You pay for it, but
if you want to do this,
we got a line on some,
I can help you out, but you're still going to have to follow every step perfectly or you will mess it up, and don't mess it up for me. Because I'm the young professor, you can't screw this up.
That's right.
That's pretty accurate,
That's right. We have a 2 million person waiting list. So even for us to request tickets for our people is a whole process that's still not guaranteed.
Very,
so Sam knows
very
what I
grateful
did.
for the...
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you again. And Sam knows what I did. Because I'm smart.
Yeah.
I gave it to Andrea.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not going to mess it up. I'm not going to get yelled at by a young professor.
I forwarded her all the details.
I told Sam to send it to I just let the ladies take care of it.
So when he offered us access last time, I got super excited because I've been wanting to take my sons to Savannah Bananas.
Everybody's trying to go.
It's the hottest thing in town.
It's blowing
Everyone's
up.
mad at me now when I posted my picture. Damn.
I haven't posted mine yet because
careful.
I saw your photos.
Yeah.
And I got gun shy because everybody was like, I had one guy.
Nice.
Yeah, one guy was like 2 too rich for my blood. And I was like, I think they're all 35.
They are all 35, but they're looking at the secondary because they think they can just show up and get tickets. So they go on and they look it up.
I got yelled at because of the
Ticketmaster
secondary
sells
market.
fake ones or whatever, and they're selling them for hundreds of dollars a piece.
Yeah, they're all 35.
They're all 35 bucks.
Great, good to know.
But then the secondary market and stuff, like, you're not in control of that. And
Second
people,
banana.
you know, and
Second banana.
and so that's what people
You
are
got to
looking
get all
at.
your banana puns in, Tom.
Yeah,
Come on.
get 'em all.
So I was super excited. I'm like, I'm going to bring my boys to this game. Plus, I know
I've abandoned my boy.
the trajectory of the Savannah Bananas. They're going to be, in 10 years from now, like, to be able to say you saw them in a small stadium is going to be coveted.
Yeah, and yesterday's
because they're going to be
stadium-
giant. They're going to, you guys are going to be huge.
I usually goof on Jacksonville. I got to give some love to Jacksonville. That shrimp stadium that they have, the Jacksonville Shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a great stadium.
It's beautiful.
It is. I mean, like,
Trav wants to go back for a shrimp game.
I want to go back too. Right on the action, man. Like
There's not a bad seat in the house.
The smaller ballpark. Sam sat over in the tiki hut.
Yeah.
I couldn't even make it over there because I didn't want to lose my
There was a
seat.
grassy knoll. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
she was over there hanging out with the oiled up boys.
The
over
party
there.
animals.
Yeah, the party animals were oiling their
I am
pants.
wearing a Savannah Bananas World Tour T-shirt. However, I was standing over where the party animals intro to come in, and they may have swayed me.
I tell you what.
They were very conveniently bent over right in front of me, ready to jump the gate, and I was like, listen.
And who's the guy that bats
With no shirt on?
With no shirt that
I
has
got a picture of
3,000
him.
abs.
Yeah.
Jake Lealios.
Yeah, that
Jake
guy's-
Lealios is out there.
That guy's
just
awesome.
Putting on a show
Anyway,
every
what-
night.
Jake me Alios, you know what I'm saying?
Sorry,
we got sidetracked.
I could have shared these memories as well.
You could have been a part of it, man.
You might be talking about Jason Swan. Did he have the suspenders yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, that's Jason Swan.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing.
Yeah, and we'll go into what happened. I'm very interested in what I missed out on because then I asked my wife, I'm like, hey, a young professor invited us to this game. I wanted to take the boys, whatever. What are we doing?
But I got to get
Chance
on
of a
it.
lifetime.
On March, what was it, 2nd yesterday?
Third.
My God, man. You're
March
the
3rd.
businessman. You don't know what day it is?
And then
I
she's
mean,
like,
I also don't know what day it is. I just followed Andrea to the game.
she's like, it's the Wizard's son's birthday party. We
old?
Wizard
How
Jr.
Wizard Jr.'s
I don't
birthday?
know how old, turning 8 or something like that. And
he
they're
doesn't
like,
care if you're
No,
there.
that's what I said,
It's
Sam.
perfect for a 43-year-old man.
Just send a gift.
No, but then she's like, well, Tommy and Max have to go. They got
Why?
invited.
Yeah, well, she takes
they're going to
them.
be
Politely
disappointed.
decline.
And I was there. The Wizard's son didn't even. He was running around like an animal. Didn't know who was there. Tommy and Max could have never showed up. No one would have
Yeah,
cared.
exactly.
And
You blew it.
There's a bounce house. Wizards grilling hot dogs. I'm like, oh God.
This is where you got to put your foot down,
You
Tom.
messed up,
so
man.
boring.
You messed up. Yeah.
I mean, there's a waiting
I
list
know.
for 2020.
You're never going to get
There's
in.
2 million people on the waiting
Yeah,
list.
like-
you had them.
I know,
You had
guys.
them.
You'll
There
never
will
get
be
them
another
again.
birthday.
There's
There
a-
will
That's
be
what I
more
said.
birthday parties.
Our listers are on the 2025 list. You
And
realize,
my God,
yeah.
an eight-year-old's birthday party, the worst.
That's what I said. I know. It's the
They're all the
worst.
same.
Yeah, they're all the same.
You missed the bananas.
Stinky Papa John's pizza. Then the
What?
Wizard.
Oh, my God.
Then I had to
I
go
didn't
man
have
the
that.
grill.
That
I'm
is not
sweating
nice.
my ass off. Then there's rain. He's like stinky foam.
Stinky foam.
And anyway, I was very disappointed that I missed the Savannah Bananas game, but Daniel and Sam got to go.
Yeah.
We did.
it
We
was
took our
great.
families, and
So let's talk about it.
I took May there.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, how do you guys like when you come to town? I guess my first question for you would be, how many trailers are you bringing? Because I can only think of like circus, or like not as, but it's a lot. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Like speakers and booths and merch and people and yeah. So how do
Two
you,
teams and
Yes.
props. So let's go walk through like a setup to break down beginning of the day, end of the day.
Oh yeah,
for-
great question. When does it start?
for you, Matt. Yeah.
So, I mean, it depends on which department we're talking about. I mean, usually we will get there a day in advance, and there's some early advance work that's done. I think we have 2 trailers. There might be 3 this year, though. We've gotten big enough to the point where they've kind of separated so that we don't have to physically load it ourselves. Now we have an entire team that does that for us. But last year we had one full truck, and I think by the end of the year we had two. So we definitely have two this year, maybe three. But those get there the day before.
Because you guys do things, like the Bananas do things all weekend. They were at Dunkin' Donuts the day before, or I'm sorry, now it's just Dunkin'. The day before, and players were like handing out coffee and like doing fun stuff.
We have a partnership with Dunkin', and in almost every city we'll have appearances with players, or we'll actually, in Atlanta, I'll be out there for one of the cast ones that we're going to start doing.
Oh, nice.
So, there's a lot that's happening all weekend long. But the day before we get in, we load in a lot of the merchandise, we load in a lot of the props, and at least just kind of get them into the stadium, get them into all of the staging areas, figure out where our locker rooms are, where our various headquarters for all the different departments are going to be, and start kind of laying that groundwork. But the next morning, usually that we get in the day before, the next morning is the first game of usually 3 games is what it has been thus far almost every weekend. We get in pretty early. Like there's 3 buses that usually go out. Like the first bus goes out, 8:30, 9 o'clock. The next bus is around like 11. The next bus is 11:30. And by then we've got everybody there. But pretty much the second your feet hit the ground in that stadium, it's go time. We've got a lot of stuff to set up and prepare and have all kind of lined up. And even in advance of that, we're writing the scripts of all the things that we plan to do for all of the show around the game itself. We're putting all of that together. We're having meetings with our content team of how they're going to film it, how they're going to shoot it, because we have to put all of those pieces of content together. What's going to go out on Instagram, what's going to go out on TikTok, what's going to go out on Facebook.
Yeah, let me ask you a question about that. Do you guys have, because it was a sort of a rainy day, do you guys have certain, it's a rainy day, we have a rainy day book of tricks,
yes.
When Princess Potassia, am I saying that correctly?
Yes, Princess Potassia.
I want to be very respectful to the princess.
What's that?
She is a princess that you could describe her better than anybody. You work with her.
She's the princess of Banana Land.
Yeah,
she's Princess
Mm-hmm.
Potassia.
Yeah, and she came out, but she sang
Banana Princess.
And the mascot is follow him on Instagram at King of Potassium.
Split.
Yeah, Split's the man.
Yeah.
And so she came out and she sang Rihanna's Umbrella. With an umbrella. And then I wondered, is she doing that because it's raining, or does she always do Umbrella, or does she have extra songs she can do?
She's got 4 or 5 that we can rotate through, and that morning we were like, what do we want to do? They were like, let's do. That was the first time she's actually done that one live. It was this Umbrella parody she wrote with the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, she does parody songs, dude. It's made for me. It's literally made for me. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, you mean you have a beautiful woman dressed like a banana singing parody songs? I was like, who created this for Daniel? Who got in my dreams? Who's been climbing through my dreams at night?
I got hot dudes dancing in front of me.
Yeah. Sam and I were very, very happy.
Greatest baseball game I've ever been to.
I mean, $35 is way too low for the price.
What was your kid's favorite thing?
You know what? Believe it or not, Pie in the Face, Pie Dad.
Pie My Dad?
Pie My Dad. Because he has all the bits.
Yeah.
He has
Daniel did tell me
every. And you do
bag
too.
of
In
bits.
fact, you fell in love with
I love
me
bits.
doing the old Rip the Pants bit at Arabian Nights. And don't you dare
That's the
lie.
reason I'm sitting here. Daniel's my business partner.
Yeah, that is one of the reasons.
As soon as I saw him rip his pants, I was like, I'll do business with that man one day.
That's the man for me. Yeah, I did the old Rip Your Pants gag at Arabian Nights, and I love a good bit. But yeah, they had a little. Maisie loved it. They had a little. And whoever's your casting, pulling people out of the crowd. You pick the absolute most adorable children ever, and then they were real talkative. And so the gimmick is, young professor is either going to give the kid a piece of merch from the amazing Savannah Bananas collection, or she can take a pie and shove it in her dad's face. And she gets to choose that 3 different times. And of course, she's going to choose Pie the Dad every single time. Maisie's laughing.
Big reaction every time.
The whole crowd's going crazy. The kissing contest was one of my favorite parts.
That was good, yeah.
The guy knocks the old lady's hat off. He's humping her and kissing her face. It was just crazy.
Yeah. And the access to the players, kids would just run up to the sidelines and get, their ball signed or their jersey signed.
There was no such thing as
I thought it would have been
busy.
Appropriate to ask them to sign my baseball, so I did not.
Listen, we've signed some weird stuff. Last year in Jacksonville, I signed a kid's asthma inhaler. I don't think it gets weirder than that.
But it might have been inappropriate.
But what was cool is there was no such thing as I'm too busy. If a guy was literally walking up to the plate and a kid ran up and said,
I saw it happen multiple times.
Yeah, the guy would just be
do it quick.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. It was it's a total yes and. The guys interacting with the crowd, I haven't seen that in a minute. I was trying to describe it to Tom. I was saying it is Southern Cirque du Soleil baseball carnival.
When's the last time you've been to any any sporting event where the staff that works at the stadium were they were wiping down the chairs for us?
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
They were like, "Oh, let me get that water for you so you can sit down from the rain." I'm like, "What the hell?" They gave me free chicken tenders.
But let's talk about
because they were out of corn dogs. Yeah. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, let's talk about how you cultivate that type of vibe. I mean, obviously you guys bring that
Disneyland,
vibe. Yeah, so the vibe stayed there. But one of the interesting things I brought this up to Tom. I said, I didn't know how this was going to go. My daughter absolutely hated this until it worked out, and she was fine with it. She's like, we don't have assigned seats? And I was like, there are no assigned seats. We just got to get in there and get our seats. And it scared her. I guess as an anxiety person.
Sure.
Us anxiety people, we like assigned seats.
You like to know exactly where you're going to be, yeah.
Yeah, but I did notice and was extremely proud of everybody in that stadium for going back before the pandemic and acting like before the pandemic and being adults about
I didn't see any fights or anybody
it all worked itself out. Why is that? Is that a gamble? Have you guys discussed
Somehow
that
you've
before?
cultivated a nice culture.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, we kind of lead by that example. I mean, it's hard to foster that in an audience, right? But I mean, it's all positive vibes from the I mean, did you guys get the emails and stuff about what game day is going to look like? So even from those little touch points and those interactions, we're letting people know this is what this is. You're feeling the atmosphere of what we're doing. And you're involved. It's a giant community. It's a communal experience for everybody. So we want everybody to be cool because we're here to have a cool time together. You don't get, even though it's Bananas Party Animals, it's a friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
It's not, Mets and Phillies or Yankees Red Sox back in the day where fans are running each other over in the parking lots with their SUVs and, all the other horror news stories that you hear. We cultivate a very positive atmosphere from jump, and I'm glad that you guys even saw it yesterday because yesterday we had lightning, so we normally have a plaza. Everyone is allowed in right in front of those gates, and I had a whole show scripted out for an hour from 10:30 to 11:30 yesterday morning that we would have been running with music and with bits and with special guests and private concerts and all this other stuff that got scrapped. So we kind of had people just standing there, which I hate because our whole thing is fans first, entertain always. The minute you get in line, we want to be entertaining you. Yeah. That's how we try to do it because we want people to have that experience. So we couldn't yesterday because of the limitations, but still, I mean, you guys don't know that. So I'm really happy to hear that you still had that positive experience and that fans were still cool because we weren't doing a whole lot with them at that point. And we opened the gates and, it's a bum rush when people come stampeding into there.
Who does laundry? Because that's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought of, because this is how I'm a weirdo. As soon as I was there, I was looking around and I was like, oh my God, it's 1,000 soggy banana costumes. Thousands.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds, maybe hundreds. Hundreds of soggy banana costumes. And I was like, do you have a person that knows how to launder all those and take care of them for the days like that? And I've never been thanked for showing up someplace more than your staff.
This doesn't work if people don't come.
It's that old school small business where everybody on the banana staff, as you're walking in, raining on you, they're like, hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for being, I like that. That goes a long way, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, I talked with you guys, as I was kind of starting out with this whole thing, and I only started 6 years ago in Daytona at the Sunshine Mall, and there were weeks I was working in front of 6 people doing what I do now. Same amount of effort, same volume, same, and I loved it then and was passionate about it then. So to get to do it now in front of thousands of people every week, and including this weekend, we're going to our first major league ballpark. There's going to be 41,000 people seated in front of me.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, thank you for coming because it's a dream come true. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston this weekend.
Wow, that's a big boy park.
Yeah, it's the first one we've ever done, so it's going to be.
Is that going to be on
crazy.
YouTube or?
Oh yeah, everything we do is streamed on YouTube. All of our games are free.
I was getting texts from people. Again, I've never had this happen. I've been to Magic games. I've been to City matches all the time. I was getting messages from people I know. They're like, I'm watching you on YouTube. I see your yellow Braves hat.
And I'm like, funny.
Well, what am I doing now? You know what I mean? It was weird. It was a weird thing because am I at a sporting event? Yes. Am I at just a concert? I guess. Am I
It's all of those things. It is. All those elements are there.
And it was easy to bring May because you never get bored,
So I'm curious, and this may be too much behind the scenes business, to talk about, but in normal sports, players rotate in and out based on draft draft based on performance, and so with this, it's a little bit different because a lot of it is entertainment. And so I imagine you want to have a good balance between being a good baseball player, but also being a good personality. And really the personality and how good of an entertainer you are almost trumps the baseball athletic part of it to a certain extent.
You have a guy. They have a guy, Tom, to exclamation your point. They have a guy that used his own hit single from Spotify to walk out. It was his own song. He's singing it.
Yeah.
And then you were plugging his music, right?
Right.
And he's a player, but he's walking out to his own, and he's an influencer, and this is my new single from Spotify. Yeah. So who's that guy?
Dalton Malden.
He was great.
Super talented, really good guy.
I wrote that down to talk about. I was like, that's baller move when you walk out to your own music.
Yeah,
that's baller.
Because you almost want to hire an entertainer that knows how to play baseball instead of a baseball player that knows how to be an entertainer. Or there's probably a good balance between them. Like, how does that work?
The balance is shifting a bit because the truth is, because this has become such a premier thing now, our talent pool in terms of athletic talent is just getting better because more really good ball players want to come out and play. And so the coaches are still baseball coaches. They're coaching banana ball, but they're making decisions that they think will lead them to a victory. There's when we have Stilts come in and hit, or we have him pitch, or whatever the scenario is for that day, they are very choosy about when that will happen, because if it's in a spot in the game that's going to be detrimental to them maybe being able to go ahead or all that, they're going to scrap that and they're going to leave it for a spot where, all right, we're already down, it's not looking too good, let's put him in here, which I don't think that's too behind the scenes to share with you, because we want to entertain. But they're athletes.
Yeah,
They are baseball players from all the years of doing that. Now they're banana ball players, but that competitive nature. These guys, when they lose either side, I'm in those dugouts. It's
also real.
They're
baseball.
upset. They're not happy. They want.
Because they're all athletes, and they all are competitive.
I don't think they can turn that off. It's also 100% a real baseball, because I saw a man on his phone sitting in the stands get hit by one. And it was awesome. Get off your phone, man. There's too much cool stuff going on. Oh, man. Me and Maisie laughed. Oh, he was trying to take a photo, and it just got him.
Was that the one that popped up? And he could have easily caught it and made the play, but
he was editing a video.
Oh, no.
He was like, I got to edit this video of Princess Potassium.
Well, and
bam, right in his head.
What's cool, though, what you probably did notice, though, yes, he was on his phone there, but did you notice how most people aren't?
Yeah.
And if they are,
it's
to take the video or to get that quick Instagram story up and then get back, because there's so much. It's like a 10-ring circus. If you take your eyes off for a minute, you're going to miss stuff. You're going to miss stuff anyway, but you'll miss more if you're not looking at what's going on.
Yeah, I feel like this is, how bull riding in the rodeo was the halftime show that initially just to entertain people, and then it became the most popular and more popular than the actual rodeo itself. I don't know, you start seeing the direction of you putting all the entertainment aspects of what you can into a baseball game, and all of a sudden now you've got a really cool product to watch that's fun for everybody, and especially the kids. I'm curious, young professor, when does your day end after a game? I'm sure there's a whole process of, is it, wake up at 6 a.m. To finish at midnight? It seems like
it depends on the scenario. It depends if it's a day game. It depends if it's a night game. Like Houston will be like that this weekend. We've got buses, I'm on the buses rolling out on Friday for our all-day rehearsal, and then Saturday, my bus rolls out at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And when we're done is when we're done. And that's usually not till 11 o'clock, 11:30, roll back to the hotel, and that's when we leave, so we get back and you're still wound up and you're hyped up, and I don't even fall asleep till 2. I'm exhausted, but my brain's still so switched on that, you crash and then you get 4 or 5 hours and then get up and go again. Yesterday was a day game, so we were up pretty early yesterday because we had to be at the stadium. I got there around 8:30, and I didn't leave until 5:30, 5:15, 5. My older kids were working. They were loading the truck, so I had to stick around a little bit longer to wait for them. But it is a very long day for sure, with a lot of work to pull off something like this. Everybody in our entire organization is busting their hump. I mean, in all corners, whether it's finance or merch or the entertainment team, the baseball players.
Yeah, the merch people were awesome. They were having fun. They were slinging. They were fast.
The DJ or whoever runs your audio video, that guy. Come on, man.
Mark Shark, he's a radio guy.
You can tell
forever, and
he
is
absolutely tell the guy's
best,
a radio
man.
guy. He's Chan on the buttons, man. He's
controlling the levels of everybody's mics. He's got them in his comms, in his ears, talking to him. He's doing all the walk. He's the PA announcer doing the walk-ups. He's ready for what's coming next. He's hitting the sound effects. He's hitting the walk-up music.
It was impressive.
He's a unicorn, man. Like, I've done all of his jobs separately. He does them together at one time. I don't know how he does it. It's unreal.
You guys made something real goofy look smooth.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of weird stuff happening, but it was like, oh, yeah, it's supposed to happen like that.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Are like a traveling circus almost.
It's very circusy, yeah.
You're coming into town, you're setting up in a baseball stadium and putting every aspect of the show together.
We even got a home run, too. Like, that was pretty rad.
Yeah.
We got that. We even got... And I don't know if this is rare. You can tell me again. I've only been to one game, but we got to have an actual person there catching out.
Oh, really?
Because if you're in the stands and you catch a fly ball, it's an out.
Foul ball, yeah. Fans catch a foul ball, it's an out.
It's an out. Yeah, and he caught the foul ball, and they were like, boom, and that was the end of the inning, I believe. And they brought him out on the field.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets and we're all like cheering for him because he's part of the game now. It's really weird. It almost had like a gladiator vibe.
Whenever that happens, so the dugout goes, go get that guy. Find him, get him out, get him down here. And they bring him out, and then the next inning, the coach would be like, here's the fan who caught the ball
the
right.
Guy looked like he was about to explode. They brought him out. Like, impromptu. He's just standing. It was crazy.
So, obviously, you came in this morning. Your voice is a little wrecked from,
Talk more.
Get on our show.
So,
talk.
obviously, the tour goes on. You're going from place to place. Like, how do you deal with that? Because it's a long tour, I imagine. Like, give us an idea of the next stops and what's the grind like for the next couple months?
I got to tell you, it's been a little bit harder this past month since we started, and I was trying to figure out why, because I don't remember feeling so beat up early last year, and then I kind of realized we're doing 3 games a weekend, whereas last year it was mostly 2, and then maybe we'd have a day or 2 off, and then we'd do like a 1 and 2. Like this year, it's all weekends pretty much, either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But they're almost 3 in a row. They're almost every single one of them is 3 in a row. And 3 in a row, 3 days in a row. I mean, you were there. Like, it's not like I've worked 200 gigs a year, multiple times over.
God.
It's another level. Like you're at an 11.
I couldn't
all
imagine doing 3 events back to back.
Well, the level of talking,
ridiculous.
You didn't stop talking, and that's kind of the thing.
Think about doing like beer fest, sofas and suds, and then another day of events
every week.
And we don't even really talk that much. I mean, we do. Yeah. We're shaking hands and talking to people, but I'm not projecting my voice. I'm not like hosting it. Like as soon as we got there, like it started. Just to give you an idea,
I could be wasted at our events.
Yeah, exactly.
I cannot.
There was too much going on. You have to remember like 25 of the cutest children in the world's names. You got all these people you got to bring out. You got to remember they had their dancing nanas out there. We had old ladies dancing out there.
That was great.
Then it starts with you.
Did you like the Dad Bod Cheer Squad? Did you like those guys?
Squad,
the Man-Nanas?
Those were great. The Man-Nanas. Then they were the first contest. It starts as you're coming in. They're tossing banana in the pants.
Yeah.
And then it's like as soon as you walk in, there's a game going on where they're tossing bananas from the ceiling of the stadium, and then guys are catching them in their pants. And Maisie's like, I like that. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fun.
So what's the backup plan if you ever get sick or you can't do it? I mean, you a well-oiled machine, someone else just jumps in there?
Somebody can. I mean, so you guys got to see it on the weekend where our owner, Jesse Cole. Jesse and I usually kind of split the hosting duties.
Okay.
So we'll kind of bounce back and forth. It's still a lot of work, but at least when there's 2 of us, it's a little more evenly distributed. He wasn't there this whole weekend. So, and there were rain delays. So we had a 2-hour rain delay on Friday night. So it was 2 additional hours of programming because we don't just sit there and wait for the rain to pass. We're going to go into this entire list of here's our bag of tricks. Here's what we're going to do because these people are here. And most people will not leave their seats, even in the pouring rain, because first available seating. You can't save seats and all that. So they're like, nope, if this game plays, this is my seat. I ain't moving. So they're getting poured on. So we're out entertaining them. We're doing all kinds of crazy stuff to get them going. So that was 2 more hours of essentially announcing and getting on there. When Jesse and I are together, it's a little bit more of an even distribution. I'm very beat up today because he wasn't there, and it was almost like 4 games instead of 3
It's like when you and I used to host, and then I still remember only doing one, and I think you only have one, where we hosted an Orlando City game alone, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
It's just too much talking. It's too much to remember. The fact that you can even do it just shows how pro you are, man. It's so hard.
Also, it's good to have someone there to throw it to, or
in case you want to have a freak out.
If you start forgetting, you're like, oh my god! Sometimes you just
you ever forgot anything?
What was I gonna say? And then someone else is gonna be like,
rarely do I forget.
Also,
some
is
stuff
so relaxed. It's almost like. I don't know. It's set up for even if you did. I don't even know if it's
there's ways out. But you've always got to kind of have that. If you got a good awareness, if I've been hosting a while now, I've got a lot of reps under my belt at this point where it takes a lot to really rattle my cage. I can stumble, but I'll find it quick and I'll just keep moving because I'm there. But if you're not seasoned, if you're not used to that, and especially at our pace, because our pace is not like I've hosted all kinds of other stuff. There's nothing that runs at the same speed that we run. It would be extremely challenging for others. But we have a couple guys that are with us that do it, that they do enough that we know how to kind of fill in. And if somebody needs, hey, this one isn't here, they're not available, we can slide those folks in. And fans aren't going to know the difference. They're going to still have that seamless, amazing, fun experience.
Yeah. And young professor, you mentioned something a little while ago. You said, I don't know why this is getting harder, or this seems harder than it was last year. I, too, have experienced every year it seems I'm getting worse. And
I'm like, he didn't say
I didn't say I'm getting worse. I said it's getting hard.
Yeah. Are you I'm just like you, Tom. I'm getting worse every year.
It's just getting hard. And then I'm like, man, this.
He didn't say. He said harder.
I'm
didn't say worse.
He never said he was getting worse.
I'm just saying that we're all getting older. Then we're not getting better.
And you need to remind the young professor.
Yeah, thanks.
His name is the young.
Yeah.
That which is saying, young professor, there's no outrunning the Reaper.
I think he just has more on his schedule.
I do. Well, we added that hour pre-show.
Can't help, right? It never helps. That's
I think he's better than ever.
I think I'm at my absolute best right now, and I have to be. But we added a 1 hour pre-show every single day that I write and produce and put together, and then we do the show. And now there's 3 of those in a row, and I think that's it. So I was like, why was last year easier? And then I went, because math.
Added a bunch
there's
more work.
There's a lot more hours of really intense focused work.
That's why you become the best,
right? You got to do that.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, I'm just joking because recently I've been jogging. I'm like, this was easier 5 years ago. I'm like, oh yeah, everything was easier in the past. But anyway, young professor, thanks so much.
Man, we love seeing you, dude. Thanks so much.
It's great to be here, guys. Always.
The access to the game. Thank you so much.
And if anybody wants to see a Bananas game, is it just get on the waiting list?
Join that waiting list.
Yeah, get on it now. Your best shot will be for 2025. But we're already kind of planning into 2025 and 2026 and all that's to come this year. Unless you meet someone that can't use their tickets, or somebody came up with group tickets and they have a few extras, that's really your only shot. I don't recommend going to the secondary markets.
Banana Land at Sea.
Yeah, the cruise that we'll be doing is going to be a lot of fun. I don't think it's full yet. I think it's 80% full.
Still have spots available.
That would be fun.
Because you see what we do here. Obviously, we can't play baseball on the cruise, so we're going to be pulling out all the stops somehow, some way.
Could you hit some biodegradable baseballs into the ocean?
I got to imagine we're doing that. I got to imagine we're doing that.
In the 90s, you used to be able to shoot clays.
You shoot golf balls.
Just throw cabbage balls.
My dad, there's a picture of my dad in tiny white shorts with his necklace on, shooting clays off the back of an old Carnival cruise ship. My dad's shorts are so tiny, and he's just blasting them good.
I think my grandma shot clays off the back of her.
It was a sign of ultimate wealth.
And then you hit golf balls out in the ocean. They're like, the ocean. It's the world's dumpster.
Ocean. No one knows what's in it.
You can throw anything you want in there. It's
it just goes away.
All right. We will take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
The Arnold Palmer Invitational is this weekend. We'll be out there on Thursday. We'll be doing a ACT recording when we're out there, so you can come out on Thursday and hang with us.
It's beautiful out there.
Yeah, get your tickets each day at tomanddan.com. That's where you get the discounted tickets.
Yeah.
We have a special discount only through our website, so if you want to go to the Arnold Palmer Invitational this weekend, make sure to go through our website. And in the White Claw fan deck, you get access to that. Plus, you can wander wherever
we have the
you want.
best deal on the tickets, and of course, everything is brought to you by our good friends at MasterCard.
Yes. So we got access to this interview through a BDM who had the giant bike. I don't know if you remember.
Well, okay. Now, full transparency, I feel a little weird because I don't think we got the traction for that particular episode because of like gravel biking or good charity work or touring Florida. It was more people saying like, "Wow, look at that bike!"
Yeah,
which to me
how big that bike is.
Yeah, exactly. It just to me showed me how dumb everybody is because like he's Gary, our buddy Gary, is doing like really good things, bringing awareness, charitable,
bike packing,
bike packing, and then most people just boiled everything down to just like, look at that big bike.
So BDM Gary told us you got to talk to Single Track Samurai. And we were like, what? Who's that?
Who's the Samurai?
And in the studio with us is Carlos, Single Track Samurai. How you doing, Carlos?
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, man.
Doing great, thank you.
He rode in to the studio today.
Yeah. I like that, by the way. I like when you stick to whatever your thing is. If you're a wrestler, I want you in
Show
here.
up in the full gear.
Yeah, with the ear things.
Now, I was expecting you.
EC3 did that.
He did indeed. We tried to erase him from our history. I was expecting you, though.
Never forget.
No offense.
Okay.
Because I do put you in the look at that big bike category to be like, hey, where's your sword?
Oh, yeah, because okay, all right.
I thought you were going to give him one of those.
I was expecting more of a ninja bike.
See, I was right. I knew you wanted him to be like riding in ninja boots, all black, silent.
If you're, making the firefighter motorcycle, you need a fire hydrant and carburetor.
Yeah,
you know something?
exactly.
I need the thief anyway.
I get what you're saying.
So, Carlos, first, let's talk about how you became known as the Single Track Samurai.
Single Track Samurai was a nickname I acquired from cross-country mountain bike racing. A lot of my teammates, when we were training, when we would funnel down into the single track, they knew that I was going to pull away because, they felt like I could just slice up the trail like if I was a samurai wielding a sword.
Snap, slicing up the trail.
Why can't I be like, I'll go my entire existence without having like a nickname that's because of my skill level.
Well, you're Tuna Can.
I know. Or Daniel with your weather. Yeah. I had that for a hot minute. I had Dan with your weather.
Yeah.
What do you have?
We got to have a new nickname for you.
I know. We'll have to figure something out. But yeah, what a fantastic nickname, man.
Well, let's talk about what a single track even is.
Correct. Good point. So when we're talking about off-road trails, you have essentially two types of trails. Single track, which means it's just narrow enough for one person, and double track, which is narrow enough for two people.
Okay.
Or a vehicle, or a small, like an all-terrain vehicle. Those are
one
two
American.
Tracks. Double tracks.
Gotcha.
One beefy American. Yeah.
So
one patriot, they say, on the trail.
And we're talking like a trail that only one bike can fit on. So we're, it's narrow, tire width, basically.
Yeah, typically single track requires focus.
Okay.
Intense focus because it's going to be windy. It may be up and down. It may be bench cut, which means it's on the side of
like a bank.
Yeah, there's peril to your left. If you mess up, there's a huge penalty. It could be a ridge line.
Okay.
Single track exists all over the world, but that's typically what they define as single track.
All right, so
I'm learning a lot.
We'll talk about like gravel biking and bike packing and that in a second, but really I want to focus on something that I want to instill into my sons.
Here we go,
Carlos, and then because
mark your bingo cards,
settle
everybody.
In, everyone.
And
what's it today? Is it grit?
Yeah, welcome to biking grit.
Is
it hard work?
Yeah, it's grit and hard work. Yeah, you got to say about it. You need that.
All right.
But more importantly,
tenacity.
Let's not do. even though I don't know exactly what that means.
And a little bit of the gay razzle dazzle.
But
flair.
It's more about turning your passion into a business.
Money.
Money. It's all into money.
It's all for the money. Show me the money, Tom says.
But I think like anybody that can take their passion and then turn it into their business and their work.
But then when it becomes work, you hate it. You said that. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, that's what the ultimate prize is.
You gotta try
to hate your passion.
You're riding your bike and you're like, God damn it.
The ultimate prize is to hate your passion.
Yeah, the ultimate prize is it's not hate, it's to kill your passion.
Well, it's like in gambling. The ultimate prize is to get good enough where they don't let you do it anymore. No, they stop.
So good, you're not allowed to.
Yes, they stop.
Sorry, you can't play anymore.
Yes,
you're too good. You're cheating us, and we're cheating you.
Yes. So, Carlos, when did you decide to turn your passion into a business?
About 15 years ago, I started organizing events, but at that point, it was grassroots. I wasn't charging any money.
Yeah. It was just because, like, hey, this is will be a fun.
I have to point this out. Now, that is the epitome of passion. When you are organizing things for other people and taking your time, which is your greatest commodity, and for no money, organizing these events, like, why is it just pure? Was it the pure love for biking, or why share it? Because a lot of people don't.
I think it was to try to break the paradigm. At that time, we're talking 15 years ago. It doesn't sound like a long time, but in terms of cycling community, it was a long time ago. People didn't think it was possible to ride 20 miles without there being some sort of sag stop with cookies and snacks. So I was challenging them to ride 180 miles without sag stops. I was changing the paradigm. So I think the reason I offered it for free was, number one, was that's how everybody was doing it at the time, was they were just offering these events for free.
Yeah.
And number two, I kind of wanted to lure them in, like give them it to them for free, and people will start.
Yeah. I building a community.
Yeah, I never intended to charge money until people started giving me money.
Right.
People at the end of events would hand me that they collected on their own because they felt, just like you, time is your most valuable commodity.
It is.
They felt that it was ridiculous that I was out there.
Well, it's time and pain pills because they don't give those anymore. But I haven't had one of those in 3 years.
But they also wanted you to keep organizing the events and to keep working on it because it was beneficial to them in the community, right?
It was
you need a leader.
It was low-key encouragement for sure. And once I realized that I did need to charge something, I kind of started building the model from that. And then about 5 years ago, I went legit, I got, an LLC and did all the things. I mean, even the website that you see now was
beautiful.
Someone gave it to me.
Oh, wow. My God.
This is the kind of, that's why I say one of the founding principles of Single Track Samurai is generosity. And I try to stick to that. So I continue to just be generous because I kind of feel like if I violate that superpower, that somehow it'll all crumble on me. So generosity is like number one founding principle.
It's almost like you're a real samurai because I feel like samurais would have had a code, and they did, right? I don't know anything about it. I would need Seth here to tell me all about it, but I feel like, I like that.
Well, the word samurai directly means to serve. So if you take the name Single Track Samurai, it means to serve up single track.
There you go.
Yeah. And, people get into these, you can call them hobbies, but I think it's more than that. It's almost like a religion. Surfing's like this too. Yeah. Basically anything.
A lot of outdoor sports where it's like you against the element.
And nature, and there's exercise involved, and you get closer to religion than a hobby, almost.
But not the unicycles that go 90 miles an hour. Those guys don't count.
I'm sure. What's your feeling on electric bikes?
I'm fine with it. As long as it gets people outside doing things, I'm cool with it. I think my only concern in terms of single track and electric bikes is that there's people getting in over their heads. People that have no business trying to handle fast corners on a bike. That's why we're seeing a rise in accidents because there's just some people that don't have any business going that fast. That's my only issue with it. Other than that, if it gets people outside, gets them exercising, I mean, I think studies show that people who get e-bikes exercise more than people who have regular bikes, probably because it's not as intimidating.
Yeah. Well,
wow, straight spitting knowledge, because I hate e-bikes. They make me so mad. They blow me off the road all the time. I'm like, get out of here, fat. I was going to say fat ass, but I was going to say, get out of here, fat ass, but that was not nice.
There's no exercise involved. It's a motorcycle.
Out here at Baldwin Park,
I like it.
There's like fat guys on motorcycles that blow me off the Katyway Trail, and it makes me mad.
Like my buddy, Turkey Leg, is into Surons.
He loves it. He's e-bike crazy.
And he's got two, and we were like, well, what trails can we go on to?
You're the arch enemy of the single track samurai.
But then all the mountain bike guys hate because it doesn't even have pedals. It's basically electric dirt bike at this point. So we're riding electric dirt bikes on cycle trails, and
you should not be doing it. Tearing the trails apart.
And then, I haven't done it yet, but it is frowned upon on the internet. I see a lot of bicyclists and electric bike guys fighting.
To go back to what Carlos is saying, though, I also feel like the guys that you ride with are not the guys out here riding around the lake.
Right.
You're talking about real enthusiasts that are getting the correct bike for whatever ride they need to do, or maybe they do need to, quote, modify, right? I mean, just because you are injured or like my hips are rotten, but, there might come a time when I might need an e-bike, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I'm talking about the guys that I never see you pedal once.
Yeah, get a wheelchair.
Oh, my God. Is that your new slogan? Tom Van's Bike Rides. Get a wheelchair.
Oh, I'm joking. So let's talk about the trails in Florida, because you have mapped them out, and that's part of what you've offered to your community is the access to the maps of really cool, unique trails that are around Florida. Like, how did you find these? Just exploring?
I think you know how they say you understand your life better in hindsight?
Yeah.
I think I just always had a knack for kind of figuring stuff out, like exploring and just finding stuff was my jam, right? And I got like this. When I look at a map, I can kind of see where the green spaces are. In fact, if you do a Google layover where it's not the satellite, all those dark green spaces are public space. So I just started figuring out how to make the connections, but it really started where I grew up. I grew up in Deltona, and we used to ride or drive our little cars on all these little back trails. So the first route I ever created was in Deltona, and I just had a knack for connecting the green spaces and finding interesting ways to do it. I got my degree in anthropology, so that added a research element to my process. And I look, now I not only use satellite maps, but I use old maps, and some of the stuff that actually brings a lot of fame to my name, which is the river crossing that we do to connect Wekiwa State Park to Rock Springs State Park, was an old Jeep road that I found on the topo map. It was an old Jeep crossing for timber.
Really?
And I went and scouted out, mapped it out. I mean, even the park manager didn't know about it. He wanted to know about it, so I took him for a ride out there and showed it to him, and he was super impressed with it. And I guess it was just a knack, and that knack went from I started with just a little 60-mile loop, and then I made a coast-to-coast loop, and then I made a big 300 and something mile loop, and then I went all the way up to Georgia, and then I said, let's go all the way down to the tip of the state, and then I went to the Keys, and then I went to Alabama, and then I also helped construct the route that goes all the way to Nova Scotia and Newfoundland.
Wow, okay, so
awesome. You've been killing it, dude.
I also lived in Deltona once. Good thing about
I did as well.
And what have you done?
Well, good thing about riding bikes in Deltona is you can bunny hop a fentanyl bum.
Yeah, that's true. They're everywhere.
They're on the trails, and then they won't even wake up.
Yeah. Ration to the Zaxby's.
So, is there like a most famous Florida trail that is the most popular? Like, are there secret ones? Is it all through public land? Is it sometimes through private land? How does that work?
All my routes are legitimate. They're all public land or land that is completely available to everyone.
Okay.
There in the past there may have been some stuff that was questionable, but because I knew I was going legitimate, I had to make sure the routes were legitimate. We talk about trails. My routes are a mix of trails, and mix of throughways. They're a combination of roadways and bike paths and double tracks. So it's like a patchwork quilt. It's not just one trail, it's many trails. But if we were to talk about one of the routes that I've constructed that are most popular, it would be the Huracan 300 route, which that event we just did early February, which Gary, when he was on, he mentioned. That event brings people from Europe, from the West Coast, from the East Coast. In fact, most participants come from somewhere else, which is extremely flattering for me. But that, by far, is probably the most popular of the routes that I have created.
Are you surprised that you don't get more locals that do it? Is it because that's a surprising fact to think that the majority of the people that come here to do your most famous trails are from other places?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Biking in Europe, though, I mean, do you get a lot of Europeans? Is it
mostly the travelers that we have that have come here have been either from the UK, the United Kingdom.
Gotcha.
We've had a couple of people from France.
Nice.
And then we've had a couple of people from Newfoundland. Not Newfoundland. It starts with an N. Can't think of it right now. But there's it's the one next to Africa. What's that place?
Nigeria?
No, not Africa. Australia. The one next to
New Zealand.
New Zealand. We've had a couple of New Zealand people come, which is not in Europe.
We figured it out.
Yeah, not in Europe, but still very far
Look, he's
away.
not the geography samurai guy.
No, he's got his head in the trails around here. He doesn't know what's going on in the world.
So, as far as you would think, when you call them a mountain bike, it seems like it does a disservice in Florida because there's no mountains.
I think that's why. I think that's why we had guys that started calling them gravel bikes. Right?
Yeah.
Is that why they did it? So they just wouldn't be goofed on anymore?
I think gravel bikes is a marketing term. In Florida, there is no real gravel. I mean, we have about 5 different surfaces that we lump into the old gravel category. It's more dirt road riding, but I think gravel bikes is just a marketing term, something good to get people out there. But you're right, there is no mountains in Florida, but there's plenty of off-roads, great single track. When you ride in the mountains, if you ever go out to Colorado, you spend about a couple hours going up the mountain, and then you spend about an hour riding the ridge line, and then you spend 15 to 20 minutes going down the mountain again, right?
Yeah.
In Florida, all you get is the ridge line riding. So what we don't have in climbing, we have in old quarries that they have created into parks or old barge canal projects. So we don't go up, but we go down, and we have ridge lines, and we have all the cool stuff in terms of ridge riding without having to go all the way up and consequently enjoy that sweet downhill. So
gotcha. And there's some elevation
this
change.
Sounds extremely exciting. I would like to find a little one. Would you be interested in doing it with me?
Yeah, I need a bike.
I need a bike too, dude. I haven't had a mountain bike since college. I ride bikes.
Yeah.
Like now I ride either my road bike or my cruiser around Baldwin, or I ride the Peloton, which isn't even riding a bike. It's just exercising.
You only need like an extra $2,800.
I know, just laying around. Yeah.
You don't even need that much. You have places like Santos Trailhead Mountain Bike Park that rents bikes.
Okay.
And then you have at Alafia River State Park, the state has done a partnership with one of the local bike shops to rent bikes. So
that's great.
You just need the right attitude, and you can go out and mountain bike whenever you want.
Tom never has the right attitude.
You're talking a wrong attitude, Tom.
Let's talk about the bike
attitude. That's an emotion.
What I like about this is not only
this sounds better than our stinky old Peace River thing. Why don't we do this?
A bike ride.
Yeah, why don't we do bike camp? Just one overnight. We bike to some place, or we
camp out,
and then we
you
bike
move
back.
on to the next.
No one I know is tough enough for this, including myself. I could be forced to do it,
but you'd hate it.
But, no. I know. I'd like it. I want to put my sons through this, or like go and do this adventure with my sons one day.
Let's do it. But I know Maisie would want to do it right now. I have to buy her a new bike as it is. She's outgrown her bike. So I got to get her a bike.
But it's tough. It's a lot of work. And then you're setting up camp with limited. I mean, if you're bike packing, you're bringing the bare minimum because it's all about weight, right?
And your kids are not used to the bare minimum. You got a full kitchen sink.
We're not carrying a bucket on our bike to poop in.
I mean, I would need
and a bucket light. Don't
like
forget.
60 pounds of booze alone.
How do you carry your booze on your bike?
Flask.
Okay,
you're doing liquor.
For the hard stuff.
I need ice and White Claw. They're heavy.
So pampered.
You know how hard it is to pull an Arctic?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You're eliminating.
We don't have a Yeti. That's too rich for my boy.
Comforts of camping. But so when you're talking about the bike packing part of it, when did you get into like camping and then like long distance?
The whole reason I got into bike packing, I actually got into long distance riding by doing 12-hour and 6-hour races, kind of like how many laps you can do in 6 hours. This is usually at a dedicated trail system. I got into long distance riding, and then I heard about this gentleman called John Stamstad who had ridden from Canada to Mexico.
Yep.
And that's the same route that we had discussed earlier. And I realized that in order for me to do this, which seemed impossible, which really drew me in, I'm like, oh, this seems impossible. I want to do this. I had to learn how to do lightweight off-road bicycle touring, which is bike packing. And that's why I got into it. And I figured, well, if I'm going to prepare for this, I need to do it here where I'm at. Makes it accessible. At that time, I mean, I didn't have I didn't have a huge budget, didn't have a lot of money. I was a single dad. I mean, the struggle was real.
Yeah.
Single dad samurai.
Correct. So I trained out my front door, and that's how I built my first route, and that's where I started practicing.
And have you done the Canada to Mexico?
I've had the opportunity to ride the Great Divide Mountain Bike Route 3 times.
Okay. And how long does that take?
It depends. The first couple of times I went, I wasn't able to complete it.
Okay.
Because I had injuries. I mean, talk about being raw. I was raw.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, man. What?
I mean,
that's your butt, right?
Yeah, it's everything.
That's so bad.
Your butt and your feet.
Are you
your chest?
I think it's the whole downstairs.
Is it all over?
Not only raw in the front and the back, but
the metal, the gooch.
But my Achilles was creaking like a leather belt.
Really?
Yeah, like crack. It was kind of scary at that time.
And so then, I mean, it's sure. Like
the chat room loves you, by the way, and I'm just telling you that because they hate all of our interviews.
That's true.
They love you, though. They love you. Seriously, they're like, this guy's a badass.
How hard was that to call it quits it's been I was reading on your website, and that's how you started. It was your dream to do it. So when you go and do that, and I'm sure your type of personality is like to push forward, even though beyond pain. But
that may not be wise.
Yeah. You start to get to a point where you're like, I'm going to long-term injure myself.
I mean, I'm not even making jokes. Like, if you got on this trail with Carlos and you were injured, you would be like, no, I'm fine. And you would power through it. And then you'd get to the end, they'd be like, well, sir, you've destroyed your knee. It's gone. And you'd be like, oh, I didn't know.
Well,
like,
good thing fine. They can always fix it. You can fix it. Doctors would fix anything. So how hard was it to give up?
It wasn't hard at all. I was miserable.
It was very easy, Tom.
I love giving up, by the way, Carlos. It's easy. Giving up is the easiest thing you've ever done.
When's the last time you did it? It feels so good to just, I'm done.
I had just ridden across a desert. I'm from Florida. It was arduous. It was It was tough. I was lonely.
Sure. I know what that means.
Do you listen to anything while you're riding?
Oh, yeah. I was listening to books. That kept me alive.
Yeah.
I listened to World War Z. That kept me
alive.
Oh, my God.
Damn,
You love that book, right? Isn't it something you like?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm seeing some correlations here.
Listening to words.
But you like the zombie stuff.
But what I discovered that time I quit, and that was the last time I ever quit anything, was that the pain from quitting doesn't happen right then. It happens later, man. I lost a ton of sleep over that quit. So after that, I learned that I'd rather, lose
Fight
my leg than
ever quit again.
That's the difference between you and me, is that as I'm being tucked into bed by my wife after I quit, I'm like, this is way better.
I love quitting.
Going right to sleep. Easy sleep.
Shouldn't even started. That would have been better.
It's better in here.
Well, but so, and then you went back and you finished it.
You got another?
Yeah. This one's about tipping. Hey, Tom, Dan, and Sam. I'm listening to ACT, and you were talking about tipping. I used to work for Rent-A-Center, and a big part of my job was delivering the furniture, TVs, and home appliances that people purchase.
God, that was a good snapshot in time, man, when Rent-A-Center was hot.
And errands.
Yeah, people were, you could go in there and you would live like a king.
It was extremely rare that I ever got a tip from customers, and this always baffled me. You tip the person that carries a pizza or a bag of Chinese food up to your door, but they never tip the guy that just carried an entire bed set, 70-inch TV, and a pair of washer and dryers up to your third-floor walk-up apartment? Makes no sense. Why we tip some employees and not others. I think, movers, you gotta tip. But they are Rent-A-Center customers, so they don't have a lot of money.
I'm mad at this. I'm mad at this person. I'm mad that this person didn't put two and two together.
Well, it is Mike B's brother.
Mike B's brother, you gotta realize when you're huffing a 50-inch TV into an apartment.
He can't even afford that.
For a Rent-A-Center, they're not going to tip you because they're
no
poor.
Money for tips.
Yeah.
only money to rent.
If you want to get tipped, do something for rich people.
Yeah,
they
that's true.
tip.
Uber Eats in the rich neighborhoods, yeah.
Chat room is pointing out one of our most favorite, I guess it's like show history. I remember when that guy from the radio show Super Mario put Tom down as a reference for Rent-A-Center, and they would call you all the time because he was delinquent.
Yeah. That happened for a while, and I was mad.
That was Ken. That was our buddy Ken.
I pick up the phone, and they're like, is Ken...
We're trying to track down...
Do you know Ken?
We're trying to track down this goddamn 55-inch Mitsubishi rear projection.
And then I'd make excuses for him.
He's a good guy. We love Ken.
Yeah. I'd be like, I don't know. He's fell in a hard
He's
time.
out of his log. His mama's sick right now. Leave him alone.
I'm like, I'm not sure, but if I run across him, I'll tell him you're looking for him.
Looking for him.
And then they're like, all right, we're going to call you back tomorrow.
This will never end.
Tomorrow.
And then they're like, this is the game plan, you fool. We call and hassle the people that put the references
But he
down.
doesn't know who he's dealing
until
with.
you track down Ken for us.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand that Tom knows his way around Rent-A-Center. I mean, you're always 5 steps ahead of Rent-A-Center.
and then you're like, I never tell Ken they're looking for him. He knows. I know that he knows.
They're probably still looking for him.
Yeah. And that's the thing about creditors. You know when they're looking for you. Because you know you didn't pay.
Well, they came and took the stuff out of your house.
Well, or they're trying to. They're not going to do it all the time. They have to actually have you answer the door and let you invite, like a
vampire.
Like a vampire.
Yeah, because you can't just bust your way in there. It's like...
you're not the cops.
When I used to repo cars, once the car is in the garage, you can't get it.
I always secretly wanted to do that with you.
The repo?
Yeah.
Not very
But just
fun.
for the pain pills.
There's a lot of pain pills involved.
You got one more, Sam?
Yeah.
Might as well keep
here's
going.
a question. Is it better to put filthy clothes on a clean body or clean clothes on a filthy body?
Filthy clothes on a clean body.
Oh, I say the opposite.
There is something...
I can't put on dirty clothes after I've showered.
See, I like wearing...
But I have changed in between when I haven't showered.
I enjoy wearing dirty clothes.
Right.
What's considered dirty to you?
Stinky?
Like
with dirt on
If it's got BO, I can't put it back on.
No, me neither. I can't wear a BO shirt.
But if it's like dirty with dirt, I'm
like
fine with it.
Some ketchup stains.
I can't wear ketchup stain. No, I can't wear stain.
Stain shirts.
That bothers me as an anxiety person. If, like at the Savannah Bananas, when Sam and I were there, if I'd been eating, and a lot of times when I'm out, I won't eat because if I'm wearing like white or something, and if I get a blob of mustard on my shirt, I'll like. The first thing I think of, like, I want to kill myself. like seriously, I'm like, it ruins my day.
It's the quintessential slob.
It is. It's the classic.
It's like I look at you, then I look at the big blob, and then I'm like, come on, slob.
Exactly.
Get it together, slob.
You immediately take me down 7 rungs.
Yeah. Even though you can't do it's just a simple mistake. Like you're eating a hot dog and some mustard fell on. Like it could happen to anybody. Yeah. But I see it as slob.
But I hate it. And then so I'll walk you through my anxiety. I'm like, oh, God, I got slob blob on me. And I'm like, oh, God, this is terrible. And I'm like, I have to get a new shirt. But then I realize that none of the shirts that are there are going to fit me because I usually wash them ahead of time because I'm usually small. I get a weird body style. Like a body style like a tiny red potato.
Yeah. Then you're wearing a big
I'm wearing a big
nightshirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Long nightshirt. And then you throw your slob shirt away?
I would at the event. Yeah. No matter what the cost. Could have been a one of one $150 shirt, throw it away. It's ruined. It would make me angry.
Let's do another
Okay. This is the fun paradox. If Tom only has fun if other people are having fun, and Tom only has fun if people are having fun, what happens if it's just them together doing something?
They disappear.
Do they just keep looking at each other to know if they are having fun? Does a black hole open up?
That would be my guess.
I'll hang up and listen.
My guess is that you both look at each other as your eyes lock, you both disappear into the universe.
Is it just sitting in silence in the office like you and I?
This happened the other day, and I'll walk you through it.
Excellent.
Are you in the car? I'm in the car. Is it that? Because
I missed those.
That drives me insane.
I missed those.
Me?
Yeah. Drove. Driven.
So,
had driven.
Crystal told Tommy about this. Tommy's like into reading, so we're trying to support that. Get him as many books as he wants and get him into
get him in some book clubs. Hell yeah,
finding books, and then he'll read some comic books. He's reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid now.
Cool,
great series.
So he likes that. So Crystal
that cartoon's good too.
Found this comic book store. It was like a comic book and coffee store.
Oh, you told us this.
Near
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was all adults.
And well, we didn't. Crystal didn't know because Crystal's not familiar with the adult nerds out there. Apparently, she's like comic book. That's for kids.
And you know what's best? You know what's great about moms that don't know about adult nerds is they'll be really dismissive. They'll be like, "I walked in there and it was a bunch of guys with fat guys with ponytails just talking about cosplay. They were a bunch of babies."
So then Crystal told Tommy about it, and like, you should go there with your dad to have like father-son adventure,
one-on-one time, and have your dad talk about your penis.
Because we're trying to do like different things separately with the boys.
Yeah,
so
give
we're all
them their own independence.
Yeah, we're all not together.
Got to do it.
So then me and Tommy went to this comic book / coffee store, which I'm not familiar with either. It's the first time I'm going there.
You're not into nerds.
And there's no way to find out.
Yeah, I saw the picture of it online. I was like, all right, there's
but
comic
you did
books
no
and
research.
coffee.
You just looked at a picture.
Yeah.
He's not going to read about it. I mean, all he had to know is it's a bookstore for comics.
And then I'm just going to go there and Tommy will pick out a book.
You walk around, get a Spider-Man, and we'll go home.
So, but I didn't know what I was walking into. So we get there and we walk in. And so me and Tommy.
No, they're having a LARPing dice game.
There's some, there's a in. There's like some board game areas.
Oh, you rolled a 4.
So,
your golem exploded into flames as the cave.
So I'm awkward walking into a place where everybody's a part of the club, and
they're
I'm an
going to look at
outsider.
you like the white guy's walking into a soul restaurant.
Yeah.
You walk in.
I'm an outsider.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, like they could tell I'm not one of them. Which is too
athletic. This guy's been training for a triathlon.
Yeah, I can pull up at my big old Trump truck.
Is this guy in a Trump truck wearing a bandana like Duck Dynasty? Who is this? I think the youngest Duck Dynasty's here.
And Tommy's got glasses, so he's kind of one of them. But I'm not wearing my glasses.
Well, he's going to run interference for you.
So we walk in, and then I'm confused because there's like, I can tell there's a comic book area, but it's when you go to a record store and there's a bunch of you finger through the top of them, and then there's the actual record on the top. It's like a vinyl record store.
Well, normally normally the stuff on the top is going to be your more premier or more expensive.
Yeah.
Or the stuff that's like coming out now if you're at like a record store.
Yeah.
And the other stuff's going to be used or maybe like older comics or.
So basically, me and Tommy silently walked around this place, confused about because it was like vintage comics and the board games are for rent, and there was
great
figurines and things. But all stuff
we didn't for your D&D.
So I'm like, "Do you like this, Tommy?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "What is it?" He's like, "Where should I go?"
He was looking for you to tell him to like it, and you're looking at him to tell you he likes it.
So we wandered around the whole store 3 times looking, and then
you guys must have looked like total creeps.
And then I was like, "What is this?" And Tommy's like, "I don't know. What do you think?" And then we bought a pack of Pokemon cards and then left.
Oh my god!
And then we drove home silently. Yeah.
Well, that's the kind of quality time I think Crystal was talking about.
Yeah. We didn't buy anything. We didn't get confused. We didn't want to ask anybody for help. We didn't
Setting a great example for Tommy.
How the board games work. They're all old comics. I was like, "Where's Batman and Superman?"
Where's Batman? Y'all got any Batman? Y'all got any Batman and Joker in it?
All we recognized was a pack of Pokemon cards. We're like, "We'll buy."
You know what this is?
We'll buy one of those, please. And then, that was
God
it.
damn
That was it. We didn't know if we had fun. We just went home. We didn't even talk about it.
We didn't know if we had fun.
I didn't even know if Tommy liked it. I didn't like it.
Never talked about it again. Where are the Pokemon cards? Get anything good? Pull anything?
I don't know. He just they absorbed into
memories, making memories, lasting memories.
All right. Let's do one more.
Okay. Hi, Tom, Dan, and Sam. 'Tis the season when local businesses will be hosting speed dating events. Would you provide some unique questions to ask during a speed date round? Do you know any stories of someone finding love at a Tom and Dan event?
Yeah,
kudos
plenty.
to those love stories where people don't even the same language.
Yeah, we have tons of people that we have people that have gotten married. We have
people got divorced.
People that got divorced.
People that had kids out of wedlock.
People that had kids out of wedlock. People that cheated. People that left their significant other.
People that found the love of their lives.
Yeah, people that just met and then we're like, hey, you want to date? And we like Tom and Dan, and they go to the events and they continue to date.
I saw somebody in the BDM group that just got a divorce and they're looking to sign up for the BDM crew or the Tom and Dan cruise because they're trying to get single and ready to mingle out there. You know what I mean?
People do
That's right.
People do bang on a cruise. That happens.
Oh, I did it. Oh, I tried to do it. I tried to do it.
There was a couple BDMs and prior cruises that because it's a gigantic ship with thousands of people on, and they he banged through some sort of like it was some college girl trip that they were taking. You know, I mean, he told me about it. He was like,
It was girls gone wild.
Yeah, and then and there may have been a bachelorette party from another cruise.
Yeah, people are on there to party.
Yeah.
So they want
and they leave it on the ship too. So they're
I know. I get real clingy.
What are some questions you would ask during a speed date?
I get real clingy.
Well, Tom's never been on a date, so
Nope.
this is very hard for him.
This would be great.
I'd ask, where do you live?
Hello, what is your name? Even though they have the name tag on.
What's your last name?
Yeah, that's
Where
a good
do you
one.
live?
Where do you live? What
Do you have a clean bill of health?
What do you do for a living?
Yeah. What blood type are you?
Not really interested in their personalities. that's what, I don't really care about
You
that.
could ask
Where can I go to bang you? That's basically what you're asking?
You could ask
that's what we're here for, though. Right? That's what everybody's here for.
We're just trying to touch them.
Yeah. Like we're all here to what? Get
Cut
married?
to the chase. We cut to the chase.
It's speed dating. I think it's just to find who can you bang.
Speed dating is the fastest and most. I think speed dating is the fastest and most. I'd say saddest date, right?
I've also
Because it's not a real date. It's a cry for help, right? Sort of.
I don't know.
Right? I mean, you're kind of like, how? I got to go around. It's
Well,
like.
it's just so you can meet a bunch of people in a short amount of time.
But does anybody ever go speed dating and then it blossoms into something else?
I don't know anyone that's speed dated.
It always seems to me like it's the hook to get you there, and then you just start mingling like normal people do, and then you probably meet somebody. You know what I mean?
Probably just to get out there.
Yeah, I think it's I don't even
And
think
get
it's
some
a
reps in
real
for-
thing.
I just realized I have developed a superpower over 20 years of doing this business, and Daniel may have developed it too, although I think
I don't know if I have any superpowers.
I'm a little stronger in this department than
I'm
Daniel.
Gag Man. I mean, is that what we're talking about? Because it's really good, dude. My gagging has been better than it's ever been.
So I have the ability to sit and have the most annoying people in the world talk to me for long periods of time. Sam is laughing because she knows she's seen it. And therefore...
Is that a superpower?
Yeah, I mean, most people would get annoyed and walk away.
But what is the benefit of that?
The reason he is better is because I even have to put myself into one of those annoying people. Because sometimes I'll just be I wouldn't even put myself in there. But yes, you are...
I'm saying through radio and podcasts and through years of events.
I've left you here talking to so many... I've left you at events talking to people.
I've had some people sit there and talk to me about nothing, nonsense.
The worst thing.
You
did it at Porch Fest. That's the last time you did it.
Other listeners will try to save me, and I don't even want to be saved. I just stand there.
That's true. I have tried to save him, and he will shoo me away.
Yeah, he burns himself
to
alive.
sit in there. Yeah.
Because I'm making myself tougher.
You're like a monk that lit himself on fire.
I'm the annoying people samurai. I could take it. I could just sit there and take it. So you could someone could just tell me the worst, most annoying nonsense.
I've seen it
over hours.
Wait,
I'll just take it.
I'm wrong. You did it at our Sapo tournament.
No,
you did it at.
Come on.
You did no. You're just really good at it.
Yeah.
You're really good at it.
So
which one of you was annoying?
So therefore,
I just put that out there. Like, they're going to be sweating.
Was it me?
They're all sweating.
So therefore, they know who they are. Therefore,
I think annoying people don't know they're annoying.
I can go to one of these dating places. Most people they'll have an annoying person talk to them. They're like, all right, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, Tom can just glaze his eyes over, and he'll just do this. He'll go, yeah.
I'll give him
wait a minute.
for
See, I was
hours.
just saying this is what you do to me.
And then and then I'll bang them. Because I'll wait through, and then they got
you wait them out just like you do your wife.
I'll wait them out.
The old wait them out, Tom.
I can wait people out. I can siege them.
Don't say siege them. That's terrible.
I just wait until they give up. All right.
One more.
Okay, let's see. We got a question for the show. Hey guys, if you were alone in the woods or the mountains or on the water, miles from civilization, and you clearly witnessed a UFO up close, but you had no audio or video recording, would you tell anyone about your experience?
I have seen a lot of things I don't tell you guys about because I know you're not going to believe me.
Yeah.
I have a ton of stories I'll never even bring up to the show because I know I have like times when I've encountered an angel.
By the way, I
have, my dad returning to me.
He's laughing at your story.
I know. I have my father returning to me in my closet. I have the time my father ascended from heaven as a cardinal.
Don't tell people.
I have those.
Don't tell people any of that.
Maggie the dog apparitions. I have a bunch of tales. That he
Don't tell me your tales.
Don't tell me your tales.
I would see the UFO and immediately think I have a brain tumor. I wouldn't think that I'm actually seeing a UFO. I would think that
I don't even think you'd notice a UFO. I think it could be over there like hovering, and you'd be like,
I would think
you don't notice a lot of things. There have been times when a guest will come in here and clearly have just diarrhea all over them and walk in and walk out, and I'll be like, "Holy crap! Did you see that?" And you're like, "What? What happened?" And they're like, "Tell me I'm wrong.
No,
you did it the other day, and I pointed it out. What did you do the other day? Remember?" And I said, "Look at that," and you were like, "What?"
Yeah,
it was
it's a
something
problem.
recently.
Yeah, I know.
But I think it's because you get hyper-focused on whatever you're doing.
Yeah, everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that it doesn't matter. To say it doesn't matter would mean that he even gave it a
No, that's what I'm saying.
blank.
He's focused on one thing.
It's not even in his
So there's
world.
nothing else in the world. Yeah,
there's nothing else
until
in
he's moved past that one thing.
Correct.
Yeah. It's
It's just how you're wired, man.
Anyway, but I would never tell anybody I saw a UFO because
Nobody. You'd tell nobody, not even your wife.
You tell Crystal.
But they're never going to believe you, even if they.
So you just die with it.
You don't think Crystal would believe you? I think she would believe you, dude. She's your ride or die, man.
Yeah,
if anybody,
I think she would.
I wouldn't believe
No.
you. Sam definitely wouldn't believe you.
She wouldn't tell me.
I actually would.
You are
into that kind of stuff more than I am.
Plus, I don't
would
think
not believe
because Tom's so logical. Well, I use that. I use that loosely.
I see what you're saying,
but
though.
I don't think he would lie about it.
Correct. He's not a liar. You're not going to come in here and say something you didn't see.
Yeah.
You may not have You may have misunderstood it.
I would tell you that I had a hallucination instead of I saw something real.
I'm like, he's on edibles again.
Yeah. I would just be like, either someone gave me some sort of
Delta 9.
Yeah, acid or I would. That would be more likely.
You're poisoned.
Than seeing a UFO to me.
This is from, we can end on this one. This is from PP Sprinkles in our Twitch chat room. I was driving once in Ohio and thought I was tripping because of what I saw on the horizon. Turns out there actually is a building shaped like a huge picnic basket. I legit thought I was seeing stuff.
There's a bunch of optical illusions out there. That's on my algorithm on TikTok. I'm like, optical illusions of
the
there's
sky, and it looks like it's opening up, but and then you can they explain what it is. It's like a weather phenomenon. Yeah, I've seen those too. Those are on my rhythm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the first thing me and Sam had together on the rhythm. And then there's some building.
Look at us syncing up.
You're driving towards a building.
Oh, have you seen the one in the tunnel where it looks like there's
water on one side?
Well, it is water, but it doesn't look like water. It looks like it's an open hole. Yeah.
There's a lot
You're on that rhythm.
TikTok optical illusions.
Yeah, I'm not on TikTok.
and that's what it is.
I think I've eliminated TikTok now. I think I might delete it.
I'm in it.
I think
I'm
I'm
all
going.
in it. My dog has its own TikTok account now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what?
Too cool for 7th grade. Look it up.
It's just reels.
Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, but
there's no difference.
But here's why I don't like it. At Instagram, I can just go to Instagram, look at some photos, and then look at some reels. If I use TikTok, then I got to bounce between Instagram and TikTok. I don't want to bounce. I just want to have one.
All right, yeah,
It
but
saves me a step.
that's fine. But there is no difference between scrolling reels on Instagram
I
and
scroll
TikTok.
reels. I even share them. I share the most puns on my stories. It's all terrible jokes. It's all puns. Like stupid joke. Like the one where my favorite one recently was there's a guy and he's like, "When's your birthday?" Or "Tell me your birthday." And the lady's like, "March 1st." And then it shows a picture of him marching and he's like, "Now tell me."
No, Steve.
And I'm like, yeah! March 1st! He did it! It's great.
We'll be right back. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and we are live at the Arnold Palmer Invitational presented by MasterCard. We have a gentleman riding a one-wheel behind you, Tom.
Tom, you could have brought your one-wheel.
You could have brought your one-wheel out there. Yeah, that guy's got a GT he's cruising around.
I don't know. You
on.
can bring your one-wheel.
Yeah.
This is like you can do anything out here, man.
And you can just
This
cruise
is the
around
land
from
of opportunity.
From hole to hole in your one-wheel.
Actually sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Why didn't we think of that?
Well, I mean,
You definitely
I
should
didn't
have
know that
brought
was
it.
an option.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're here. We're-
Hold on, you always tell me you can't just ride your one wheel.
I do always tell you that. Yeah, and I was wrong apparently because
Well,
that
this guy works here, I think.
he does work for the Arnold Palmer, and he's like driving around on it and like using
Easier
it as
than the golf cart,
He's
yeah.
using it as his personal golf cart, which is pretty smart.
So it is a beautiful day here, and
Yeah, we lucked out.
Yeah, and then we could tell the difference of how many more people there are this year than last year.
God.
Yeah, just trying to park was a lot more difficult this year than
even
last year.
getting into the area of Bay Hill, comparing it to our live broadcast from last year, like double, maybe even triple the people, double the installations, like double the amount of scaffolding.
Yeah, I mean, we're sitting in the White Claw fan deck, and it's bigger and better than last year.
More chairs, certainly more tables. There's like 20 more tables.
Just don't let Tom sit in your chair.
Oh, well, we can't talk about that. Tom did break a chair.
Possibly damaged a chair here.
We're
That's
already
a curse, right? I mean, of all we all sat down in our
Is it,
chairs.
or is it user error?
No, he didn't do anything.
User error.
He stood up. He wasn't even sitting down.
His bony ass
He didn't
poked
break
through
it.
the
I
aluminum
broke
chair.
through the
Let's
chair
talk about
like
this
a
for a
cartoon.
second.
He Hulk stood up.
It doesn't
No.
make any sense. I've never seen a man
Sorry,
break
I'm
a chair
screaming on a
stepping
golf course.
up. You were standing up, and the chair goes like your bony ass. Because now, because he's training so much, he's got a bone ass.
Yeah.
and your
No,
bone
come
ass
on.
chopped the
Well, he's
bottom of
lost
the
so
chair.
much weight.
Yeah.
No, I
look
really
kinda
haven't lost
gross.
that much weight.
You look
I've
like
lost
it.
3
Can I
pounds.
ask you a question? Is your
Well, it's all
ding,
Tony
do you have
muscle.
a saggy
Tony
ding
muscle?
dong now? Is this saggy?
Oh
down
yeah,
there?
everything's saggy.
Ew.
But, by the way, if anybody's thinking about working out, don't even start.
Okay.
Because you don't even know how much working out I've been doing for 3 pounds of lost weight.
Well,
you
you're trying to
built
get
muscle.
stronger, but you're getting stronger.
Yeah, but if you're just looking at the scale, you're like 3 pounds. It's
So-
like, I've
Do your
ran a
clothes
lot.
fit better?
They're all baggy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're losing like
I don't
inches.
even want to lose
Well,
weight.
I would say that your Jinkos I thought looked better on you when we went
They are
skating.
frayed at the bottoms
yeah, they
now.
look
All
great.
right. Listen, we're here to talk and celebrate the Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, we're supposed to be fancy
invitation.
here.
Yeah, we're supposed to be fancy
We all
here.
dressed up in our fanciest golf gear.
The black lady at my 7-Eleven told me this morning, and
You
this is
look
a
like a-
quote. She goes, "Hey, why you look so basic?"
Basic bitch.
yeah, as
Yeah.
she said, I look like a
Well,
basic
'cause
bitch.
You're
Yeah.
usually dressed like a clown.
I don't dress like a clown. I have,
You have your chef pants
Yeah,
on.
I have, okay,
You
chef
have jog-
pants.
you have
and then
a
I have a
Kanye West
tie-dye
jogger.
shirt.
I have a Kanye West joggers. I have a Crocs.
Yeah.
A flat bill sideways hat
With
we're supposed to be
gibbets,
quiet.
right?
Yeah, we're supposed to be quiet. Sorry.
I was already screaming. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Well, nobody told us.
We're
to be
not going to
quiet.
get invited back next
Here, I
year.
want to turn everything up a little bit.
Well, we are only I would say 75 feet from hole number 15.
Oh, yeah, we're
And,
close.
Yeah. Oh, we're extra close. Okay, I turned everything up so we can keep this.
Okay, yeah.
This is our new.
Well, we just got to wait till he putts.
talking level.
And we do have Jeff, the Sharp Square, here with us. He's going to join us in a minute to talk about some gambling he did, because gambling on golf is a huge thing. Like, I don't know how to do it or how to have fun doing it, but
Jeff could tell us a
Jeff
little
could
bit
tell
about
you.
it. But here's something. As soon as we got here, we parked our car. We're in the media lot. Media lot is in the
Last
worst
lot,
place
yeah.
where it should be, because media are all snakes in the grass. They're all bad.
Yeah.
Especially the guys next to us. The game.
come on.
540 the game's out here.
Radio war.
Couple of snakes in the grass over there. So we park, and then we get on the golf cart, and our contact, who's awesome, Cavender, starts racing us to the White Claw fan deck. So
Yeah.
as he's racing us here, we have to stop and have to watch a golfer take a shot. As we're doing it, I realize that there's a little fat kid in the pool of one of the houses.
Yeah,
on
one of the mansions.
One of the mansions, and there's a little chubby fat kid in there, and he is scream crazy. and then so everybody's looking at us like we were the little kid. We're not the
Right,
kid.
right.
But that little kid in there was just cutting a flip. And I guess Tom said it's his house. He does what he wants.
I always found it weird
Yeah.
that they have golf courses in the middle of neighborhoods. Like, have it separate so you don't have that issue.
Well, some are,
Well,
but
the
I
real
think that's
estate.
what makes this so
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to live on it. You know, I think.
Yeah, because you charge way more for the house and the
Yeah.
property and everything. Like,
mean, look
but
these
it
houses
sucks because then you got little kids in pools screaming.
Well, if you're a pro golfer, but if you're that little kid, it's the best life to live, right? You're just a rich little kid floating in a pool screaming at golfers. It's awesome.
You know, like Crystal's cousin lives on a golf course in Miami, and the amount of golf balls he has in his backyard, like if you dig under the dirt, you'll find golf balls. Like, there are that many. There are golf
years.
balls in the corner, yeah, because people, and he's on the a turn. So I think like hundreds of golf balls a month land in his yard. Like he scoops most of them up, and his
what
kids
happens
like.
if he gets gets hit in the head.
Oh,
You die.
he
You
has
can
to have
die.
a contraption over his pool and everything. Like when you're outside, you have to be undercover.
Yeah.
Because that, like, and every once in a while, like we've been over there for birthday parties, like you'll hear like, "Ting!" and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like
I would hate that.
I hit a couple houses. I remember
but his house is $1 million.
we were talking about 540 the game, and I went golfing one time. It was me, Jim Colbert, some sales guy, and the shot doctor, and we were playing a really famous like course that was built, like you said, in a neighborhood. And I hauled off and hit my tee shot, and I have a tendency to slice. And when I did slice, that thing went right into a Spanish-style house, and it hit like 4 of the tiles on their roof, and they were like shattered.
those are
crazy.
expensive.
And it does make you feel like, A, that you're a terrible golfer, and B, it kind of makes you feel like, I don't want to do this. It's very embarrassing. You get in your golf and you start hauling
Yeah.
ass to get away. You don't
Yeah.
want to be seen.
yeah. But
They got to accept the liability at a certain point, though, right?
You,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
would think so. Yes, you would
like
think
not
so.
everybody out there is a professional golfer.
No,
I
I mean,
got one
certainly not
question
me.
about that foursome you had, though. Did the shot doctor have a pizza and a large Italian sub with him during the round?
Excellent question. He did not have a pizza and or a full-size calzone and or any of those specialty
He ate that
Italian
for lunch every day.
Yeah, he would eat a full-size calzone for lunch every single day. He did not. But this is a fact. We were playing a nice course where I was dressed up because Jimmy would give me, he'd give me S. Jim Colbert would kill me if I embarrassed him on a very nice course.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
I believe that Shot was still playing in jean shorts. No BS. Like,
South Pole jean
yeah,
shorts
I mean,
with
like,
a hammer
long
loop.
socks.
yeah. I mean, free T-shirt, long jean shorts. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to get him to change. But yes, I guess you just you budget in. You just budget in for what you have to repair. You know, I mean,
Yeah. You know, I was mentioning when we first got here, when we were watching, one of these pro golfers. I wish, by the way, I can't recognize who's who, and
put your
they
glasses
have their
on.
names on the caddy or like on their golf bag, and like the caddy has their names on the back. But it's too far for me to see. But anyway, some famous golfers hitting out of the trap.
Yeah, he's in a
And-
sand trap on hole number 15.
And I can't differentiate the difference in how good his swing is comparative to like a good dad that I've played with before. You ever see what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So like, and I know that these golfers are, 20, 30, 50 times better, but the way that they're better is so minute that I'm not skilled enough to tell. So when they hit the ball, it looks like a regular dad hitting the ball to me. And even though it's going farther, I just can't tell.
I
It's
think
not like,
it's micro like
Differences.
advantages or differences,
Yeah.
but I also think it's a collective of micro differences. Meaning,
Yeah.
also it's so fast. Like the swing is so fast that it's really hard to break down what they're doing.
Think
But
about-
a lot of it has to do with, and this is weird though. My biggest problem when I was playing golf all the time, I used to play like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
My biggest problem was my grip. So there's so many little things you have to worry
Of course,
about. Your
yeah, yeah.
feet, your hips, your
Yeah, yeah.
legs, how you turn, your shoulders, how your club is laying. Is the club facing the ball correctly? Did you let it lay naturally? How's your grip? Is it too tight? Is it and these are all things that you could have a collection of like maybe 70 micro things that you have to dial in.
Yeah, of course,
to
yeah,
be
yeah.
this guy behind us right now, killing it.
Yeah, they have to run on autopilot, and these guys also, they take so many shots like every day just
We
practicing.
were talking about VJ Singh with Cavender on the way over, and he was saying that, what was it, 200 or was it 1,000? It was like he was saying that VJ Singh every morning would hit like 200 practice balls into a laundry basket before he would start his day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, they just know what the ball's going to do every time they hit it. Like they don't sweat over everything. Like you were saying, like we get over, you start doing that checklist of 1,000 things.
Yeah.
Everything runs on autopilot for them, and they just always are confident that they know exactly what they can do with the ball and that they're going to come pretty darn close to doing it.
Yeah.
You just think about when you're standing out here. I just think about if I'm on the local Yahoo golf course. And I would never stand where people stand when people are hitting the ball here. It's like that would be suicidal if you were
this
at a
is
regular
like the
golf
equivalence
course.
of standing on the sides of those South American rally races. Like those get very rare. We see the videos, but that's so rare when it goes
Yeah.
through
Sure.
and it kills people like normally does not happen, and that's kind of what we're doing right now. These guys aren't going to hit anybody. It's not going to happen.
Although when they do, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while,
I have a tendency for getting hit with balls. So if anyone's going to get a hit, it's going to be me.
It was like that guy at the Savannah Bananas. That old man was sitting there, and he had just happened to get his phone. Oh, should I be quiet?
Yeah, he's taking a swing right now. Oh,
He's
there
right
it is.
behind
All
me.
right,
You didn't tell
we're
me he
good.
was right behind me.
We're good.
Okay.
Stop screaming,
what
man.
golfer
I'm
is
going to
that,
get
Jeff?
kicked off.
I know.
Can you see?
I have no idea.
Is this Dustin or Justin Rose?
The white guy
is it
in the
guy on
polo.
the screen?
Oh,
Is
Justin
it
Rose,
Rose
is
or
amazing.
Bradley?
Keep your mouth down. Justin Rose is amazing. He's right behind me.
So
Right now, leading right now, because we're day one on Thursday, is List. He was leading. He was 5 under. I think he must have gained a stroke back. He's only 4 under now.
So
I think he's on hole 17.
So Jeff, who'd you bet on in this tournament? Do you have any inside tips?
I have no inside information.
Did you just
nothing
kid
like
it
that.
and just go with names you know? Like, did you just go?
No,
with
he's
like,
not that square.
His name is Sharp Square.
Yeah, and this is where the square portion comes in, because this was more just feed the action. I know I'm going to be here and want to be looking at the leaderboard, stuff. So I did about 5 minutes of my actual research on a couple golfers and how the course plays, and then I listened to the most boring gambling podcast of all time, where a guy just listed 5 or 6 golfers he liked, and
I told
said
you your
if
podcast wasn't going to work out. I told you.
No. Well,
I
if
just
you're not
said
into it.
if any of the names match from my list and his list, I'll bet those guys. So I
Okay.
got a couple guys.
I like that. You had a system. I like that. You had a little system.
You can call that a system. You can call it I need some action. Here's what I'll do. But yeah, I think I got Zaladaris and Cantlay.
Okay. All right.
That's when you have a gambling problem, when you are willing to
Yeah. You
listen
have
to
to
something you
dartboard
hate.
it.
You hate listen to some guy talk
To try and get an edge.
Yeah, just to, you're like,
Well, you're getting a
please.
fix at that point.
It's the only purpose I could think of for this podcast was like this guy is just straight listing golfers to bet on. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
The stuff that I want to know is like, and the stuff that I enjoy are like a lot of the consumer products and stuff that these guys sell.
Oh,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
how much and I know this is such a basic thing to ask, but like your top tier guy, who's winning it. Well, who won it last year? It was Katayama.
Yeah,
I think we
something.
said. So let's say what's his set of clubs that he won with? What's that cost out the door?
Oh.
If I go to Nevada Bob's, which used to be a golf store, if I go to like Golf Shack, if I go to Dick's,
Well, whatever
like how much
sponsor-
is that set?
His sponsor, whatever it is,
Oh, they're
Titleist,
just
let's
giving
say.
him free.
But,
Paying Titleist.
But then also, they market his club set to consumers. They're
Correct.
like, hey, you buy the club set of the guy.
Yeah. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love if
It's
one
huge
time
money.
somebody just started breaking their clubs over their knee and like just killed the sponsor. Like, these things are no good.
I think not necessarily a sponsor breakup, but there's been some temper tantrums.
Yeah,
I think.
But you sign contracts; they'll sue your ass. Believe me, I've seen some of those contracts. As far as you cannot disparage your sponsor, like they'll start suing you for any sort of money loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've lost my composure with like a $5 Nassau on the line. These guys are playing for thousands of dollars. Like
Yeah, but
sometimes
they're
golf,
professionals, Jeff.
everyone at the end of the day has that rope, and golf is one of those games that just brings it out in people.
Weren't we, Tom? I have a memory stuck in my brain of Tom and I being on a golf course, and we found an injured bird, and then there was a group of, I want to say like frat boys that wanted us to kill it, stomp it flat.
No, they were just making fun of it. I don't think they
Making fun of an injured bird?
Yeah, there were a couple
Yeah.
brothers. They're like, hey, there's an injured bird over here.
You know.
Let's stomp
golf
it. Yeah, they're like,
No,
stomp
they
it
were
flat.
hurting
You guys
it.
wanna
They're just
come
making
up.
a
They're
joke
like,
about
Tom
it.
and Dad, come over here. There's an injured bird.
No,
We're going
yeah.
to stomp it.
No, I think they.
Is that a real memory, or is
they-
that something I
They
just...
nudged it out of their way.
Nudged
fast.
it. That means they kicked
fast
it. That
nudged
means they kicked
Yeah,
it.
that means a little chip with the 8-iron.
No, I don't think there were any golf clubs involved. I think that somebody used like their Air Force Ones to nudge it into a pond.
I know. Real men and drunk frat boys do not care about animals.
No, they do not.
They don't.
No.
They don't. And I'm looking at you, flamingos. I'm looking at you.
So, Jeff, can you tell the difference because I feel like my enjoyment level, if I was a golfer like Jim Colbert comes out here, he sees, because he's a golfer himself, he sees how much better a person's swing is, and then he's like, oh my God, look at that swing.
Oh, he can tell.
And then it's
Because
like
he's close.
beautiful to
So
him.
is Ross. Ross Padgett. Here's the thing I want to build up. And I don't know why Real Radio isn't doing this.
Oh, Jimmy
but why
versus
aren't
Ross?
we having a Jim Colbert versus Ross live on Twitch? Half of the listeners are going to vote
we
for
all gamble
Ross.
on
Half
it?
of the listeners are going to vote for Jimmy. It'll be a 50-50 split. It's a one-on-one. It's a skins game.
Yeah. The handicap-
Mano y mano.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
Jim's in
For
trouble,
and they,
probably,
you know
right?
what they're playing for, Jeff?
What's that?
Pull your panties up. They're playing for the show.
They're
They're playing for the Jim Colbert show.
Loser leaves town.
Loser leaves town.
Jimmy would be in trouble, right? Because he's a good golfer, right?
They're both. I think they're both
Ross is a
evenly
good
matched.
golfer.
I think it's almost like evenly matched. You have youthful, but then you have experience.
Yeah.
Jimmy is a heavy hitter. Jimmy's strong, but maybe Ross has got the finesse. I'm telling you,
Yeah,
it could be
he's
the
younger.
greatest sports event in real radio
Listen.
history. Nobody ever listens to me. What do I know? Daniel with your weather, just some stupid dad.
And just like every sport, you start losing some strength as you age. You start losing.
Jimmy's definitely lost strength. Have you seen him? He looks really good.
He's a weak
lean.
old man? Is that what I heard?
No, he's lean now. He's in good shape.
Now,
know.
Tom, if this is something where people get a big gambling pool going, because it would be a big thing, which one between Jimmy and Ross are you trying to get to throw a couple holes, so you can take advantage
There's
gambling
one thing I
against
know
him?
about Ross, and this is he's not a lying pervert. That I know.
So
Does that answer your question?
I challenged.
Are you reading through the lines here?
I only radio challenged Jimmy one time in my entire career.
I don't
And
remember this. What did you-
It was a basketball radio
I do
challenge.
remember the Didn't you
old-
hurt him?
No.
Didn't he break his knee
No,
or
he
something?
he blew me out of the water, and
Oh, he's really good hand-eye.
It because of his
Dude can shoot.
appearance. I just like EJ. I'm tricked
yeah.
by people's appearances.
Yeah, you hate
You,
it.
you do judge a
Yeah.
book by its
You
cover.
hate a fat ninja.
You don't read it, but,
Tom hates a fat ninja.
Except his own book.
Right.
You can tell everything by the cover.
but apparently not, right?
Oh, okay.
You know that
I've had a couple.
Tom
slip-ups.
put a post of a very heavy parkour man, gymnast, in our BDM group, and that post legitimately made me mad because that guy was amazing, so light on his feet,
But
like a
that's what happens.
fairy.
He knew how to do it before. Then he got fat, and then he still can kind of do it. And
Oh, he
that's
did
what-
it, dude. He did
He
it
was
amazing.
doing it, not kind of
But
do
if
it.
you
Anyway.
want to know who I would bet on to win that, just because of pure animal instinct and because he's a killer, and it's Jimmy.
Yeah. Jimmy's
Mean
he
enough
won't
to
let
beat
himself
No,
loose.
he will not let himself loose.
Yeah. He's another one where he'll blood eye a win,
Yes.
But he'll be
That's the
hurting.
country boy in him. That's the Palatka in him.
Like whatever it takes.
He'll throw out his shoulder. He'll ruin his joints. He'll blow his hands out just to beat Ross.
Yeah, if you told me like the winner was going to win by 5 or more, I'd say definitely Jimmy, because Ross would probably start being like, "All right, I'm going to give you a couple here."
He's
if
nicer.
he was like, but
He's
Jimmy,
Ross is a nicer
Jimmy
person.
like that Kobe killer instinct.
Yeah. Ross is just a blanketed nicer person.
So
I think Jimmy would agree with that. I might be doing a lot of bad here.
I
don't know.
realize we should know more
Nobody
about
listens.
golf since we are broadcasting at one of the biggest golf
that's
tournaments
not what
in
they
the
want.
world. But I want to ask.
They want who's plugged in with the kids.
You don't need it for gambling either. You can just sit here and just bet one guy hits on the hole. Hey, is the next guy going to be closer or farther out? And you can
again,
do that all day.
If you want tickets to the Arnold Palmer Invitational, there are tickets left for Friday and Sunday.
Yeah.
You have to get them through tomanddan.com if you want them in the
I
White
saw
Claw
a lot
fan
of
deck.
BDMs coming Sunday, so
Yeah.
if we could
Saturday-
do a little
Sunday-
BDM meetup in
Yeah,
the fan decks.
You better scoop up
Saturday
their seats.
just sold out.
I told you guys.
yeah,
I straight
no.
up told people this Saturday, and I got bunches of mail from people asking me, like, are they going to open up extra tickets? They will not. So get them as quick as you can.
I can tell you because we actually started off with Saturday tickets, and then something came up where we couldn't go. We bought Thursday, and we were all worried because we tried to resell the Saturdays, and they were just sitting there, and then all of a sudden just gone. So, so that was a good deal.
Also, Cholo Dogs out here.
Yeah.
That's new this
Yeah.
year. We just had a couple Cholo Dogs.
Shout out to Jordan.
You
of the
going to eat your
Cholo Dogs
nachos,
gang.
your refried bean
I did.
nachos,
I
or what?
had a bite of them. I didn't
Yeah.
want to double dip my fork in there.
You can dip in there.
That's
That's all
all
right.
I got multiple
Sam's
forks.
eat them if I
Yeah, Sam-
double dip.
Sam's definitely not going to eat them if you double dip.
It's already disgusting.
I like how Tom got nachos to share, but it's the tiniest bag, and then
Yeah.
he's like, well
He doesn't
I should have
read.
got more than
He
one.
doesn't
thought it was
read
a
anything.
huge-
It said single serving bag of
Yeah.
nachos, and you were like, well, that sounds good. One for everybody.
Sometimes when you're
You're like the
I
boss
wasn't
that buys
paying
one
attention.
hamburger
That's
for the
why you broke
office.
that chair.
I would have bought anything. I just didn't. Okay, all right. Here's my question. I know we don't got too much time.
Yeah, we only got a few more minutes.
So if Jimmy and Ross did do a competition, like with golf, you have to factor in the handicap, right?
Yes.
So it's not dead even. So then how do you do that? So one's better than the other, right? And then they'd have to give each other strokes, or someone would have to start off with.
I don't know.
You adjust along the way. You start off saying, hey, we'll play 3 holes straight up, and then we'll take it from there. And that also invites someone, if they want to try to dump a little bit, sandbag a little bit. But that's part of the sport. That's part of a good golf match when you're gambling.
We got to try and make this happen, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
Daniel, you have one of the greatest ideas of all time.
It's a good idea, man. I'm telling you, it's a really good idea because you'd follow along online.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you'd have a stream on Jimmy. And
That's too much work for Jimmy.
And you'd have a stream on Ross.
No. He'll do it one time to see. I mean, it won't change anything or move the needle at all, but we'll have fun gambling.
It'll be awesome gambling.
At this point in my life and career, I'm
Just
only
gambling.
doing stuff that is fun.
I
For
like
me,
that.
myself personally.
I was going to say, when did this change?
Once you're over 40, life's a gamble.
Once he got
hell?
out here, and plus, I've been watching him drinking White Claw the entire. No, he hasn't.
No.
We're not drinking this time.
But let's just have fun, and who cares who likes
I
it.
like it. Hey, everybody, let's get naked.
But it'll crash everything fast. But anyway, so if you want to get tickets to the White Claw Fan Deck, you get them through tomanddan.com.
It's the only
They're
place to get
selling the
them.
big boy White Claws out here, too.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, they got
There's-
them.
you're good to go.
them big,
Cannon charges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got those
There's-
huge 20-ounces.
They got the Shore Club
Yeah,
over there,
the White
which is
Claw
all the
Shore
big
Club.
boy White Claws and water because you got to stay hydrated. It is hot out
I'm
here.
going to point out something
big
that I'm
Jumbotron.
going to point out something that normally does happen with bigger brands.
Yeah.
When a brand starts, they normally get promo girls, and then as time goes on, they eliminate their promo girls. But
Yeah.
White Claw's always kept their promo girls.
Yeah, they're
and
walking
I like
around.
because they handed us the new White Claw sunglasses, which are amazing.
They're very
Yeah,
cute.
Yeah, they're like $30
Fashionable.
sunglasses, dude. Those are badass.
Yeah.
Thanks to White Claw for always, propping us up. Man,
I do
love those
like a
dudes.
good promo girl. That's why that sounds worse than it is. I'm just saying.
I like
Just
a good
for-
promo girl.
Yeah.
Throw
Wait,
some boys in there,
You know
too.
what I
Yeah,
like?
promo
I like
boys,
walking
girls.
into an air-conditioned bathroom
Yeah.
and talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
the promo girls with my buddy while
yeah.
we're peeing.
Dude, that's super.
Wait a minute. You were
Yeah.
touching your weens and talking about promo girls?
No.
Dude, they got nice ass trailer,
It's
air
marble.
conditioned.
There's marble inside.
That's some VIP bathrooms.
Yeah. And that's where you get.
It's fancy. The water turns on. It's motion activated.
I totally had no qualms about drinking my large coffee on the way here. Normally, if you're going into a porta potty only
Oh, yeah, like a
situation,
public
you
bathroom.
might
yeah.
pass on that
You
big
light the
coffee.
fuse.
But
You had
today,
a big beer can poop.
You're like, I got that air
I knew.
conditioned
No, I was all
trailer.
right, but
Jeff
I had to
a
have the
big
comfort.
beer can when he got here,
All
dropping
right.
them off.
We'll end with this. Caleb Williams going one, right? No doubt. He 100%. I mean, people could bet
He's
their
taking
whole
a break.
bankroll
He's taking a break.
on Caleb, right? Chicago's taking them. They're dumping Fields.
I guess
Well, that means
he'll
we're
go.
getting Fields in. I don't want that.
I
No,
wouldn't
no.
guess necessarily
They're
that
good
it's
cousins.
Chicago, but probably. I think it's going to be really interesting to see with all these name and license, whatever they are, these guys who can almost make more money, in college, their senior year, than their first year in the NFL. I just wonder if that changes guys' motivation and stuff, and that could cost somebody. But no, he'll probably go number one.
No,
but it'll be
exactly.
interesting to see over the years how that starts changing things, maybe.
Yeah, there's some players that can make more in college than they can in the NFL. There's the lower rung.
And who just unionized? There was one school that the sports department unionized, the teams, so they'll be employees rather than...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just saw it this morning. It was a headline. I'll dig it up, and maybe we can talk about it on another show. Hey, guys, get those tickets to come out here. We appreciate you. And I guess we should probably get out of here and start checking out the Arnold Palmer a little bit.
Yeah, I want to walk around and see all the other stuff going on. All right, we will see you in a minute. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, sir.
Hi.
On March 16th, it's the Just Okay party hosted by the News Junkie.
It's not. It's just okay. 8.
8.
Just Okay 8, which is crazy.
It's crazy.
I feel like I remember the first time you guys did this, and it does
We're gonna
not seem
talk
like
about
8
that.
years ago.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. So let's.
Yeah.
You want to do and to join us.
Yeah.
To talk about Just Okay 8 on the couch. One of my favorite people of all time, Miss Sabrina Embra.
Hey guys,
How you
the
doing,
heck are
Sabrina?
you? Great.
Good.
I feel a little uncomfortable, I have to be honest, with the dead lizard. I can't stop
Yeah.
thinking about it.
what do you show?
So excited he got to show her too.
Yeah,
This guy's sick.
I was very excited.
I thought it was an exciting moment, but the fact
She
that it's
just
still in
walked
front
in.
of me.
Yeah.
You can take it out.
Can you
I'll take it out.
hide the coffin?
Let me
Hide
just.
it.
Can you take it out of the coffin and I'll hold it in my hand the whole
Oh
time?
my god.
No, I don't.
Oh my God,
That was,
Let's do a challenge.
that was a joke. Oh, if we all split it in fours.
Sabrina, I just realized what is happening, and Sam will laugh at this.
Oh no.
Daniel is turning into a human pee-pee dog. because when
I'm bringing her
ran
balls.
around.
Oh my god! I just took a
Look at my
tiny.
toy. Look at my toy.
I just took a tiny poop in the corner too. Like when I took it
knew
outside.
it.
like,
Nobody saw me pull my pants down real fast.
Sabrina,
There it is.
Sabrina came in here, and then
He
Daniel
runs to the door.
Yeah, and I hugged her like a pee-pee dog.
overwhelming her. He's like, "Come here, look at this. Look at my toy. Look at the dead lizard.
Yeah,
look at this.
Take me out. Take me out.
And Sabrina's like, "Oh God, I just woke up. You're overwhelming me."
Stop giving me kisses.
I was. I'm sorry. It was so many kisses. So many kisses.
They're just running around chirping like a
And
pee-pee
every
dog.
time I kiss, a little squirt.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I am completely used to it. My dog Carl, it is so embarrassing, but it is what it is, that I have an entire room in my house dedicated to his pee-pee. So he is
See, this is why she's one of my favorite people in the world. I too have a room dedicated to pee-pee.
Now, I think it's a box of 80 pee-pee pads. That come every
Too
month.
much.
But it gets even better. Not only you don't lay him on the ground flat because he's a boy dog, he pees, 90-degree angles.
Oh, it's
so
on the walls.
I have clips on the walls now.
Wow.
And so I introduce people to my house, and
It's
I'm
like a
like,
goddamn
don't mind the pee-pee room, which is
padded wall in there.
completely lined with pee-pee wall. It's so
This does not sound
The
like a good
chat room's
time.
not believing it. They're like, this is a made-up
I
tale.
don't
Pee-pee
Hold
room
on.
with pee-pee walls.
I will grab a picture.
Sabrina,
I don't want to
believe you.
show you
I
the
know you're not a
picture.
liar.
I know, but it's just so embarrassing. Like, I had a very nice lady. Her name's Renetta. She comes and she cleans the house because of all the pee-pees.
Goddamn dog.
But I
She's
do.
a dog.
I try to clean. I try to take out the pee-pee pads when she, gets there, so she doesn't know my secret.
stuffing these pads.
You're hiding your pee-pee
Yeah,
pad.
she showed up early and she goes, "He pee-pees on the walls."
Your dog, he goes a number one.
Wow, that's a very.
Everywhere.
I shouldn't have said it like that.
Oh, well, no, she's Brazilian. So it's close.
Okay, all right, it's on brand.
It's like hiding your recycling bin so that your guests don't
see how much of an alcoholic you are.
I do that.
So
No, I still line them up on like the top of my cupboards, like college style.
Yeah, yeah.
Are
Highlight
you
it.
working on potty training the dog, or it's just a lost cause?
I think it's
or-
lost cause at this point. I mean, it's a 5-pound dog, but he pees enough for a 200-pound Rottweiler.
My God, man.
And also his-
that's what pee-pee dogs do.
Yeah, they do.
I hate 'em,
They
but I
never
love 'em.
stop pee-peeing. Like Dansby this morning, I took him out,
Yeah.
and he did a pee-pee for, I swear to God, for like a full 45-second pee-pee.
Now, Sabrina, you got to
Like
understand.
strong.
When anybody tells me about their animals pee-peeing up their house
yeah.
and then the rooms that they have just for their
Sure.
pee-pee, or they have to like
Yeah, line the walls, quilt the walls with pads, yes.
every morning they have to force their dog to gag down their medication.
Oh, that's Maggie.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And then
Maggie, my mom's
laser
dog.
treatments, all these things.
My mom's
that-
dog, I have to gag a pill down his throat so she won't drag her dead legs behind me.
You know, but
Once the pill's in, the legs come to life.
Oh, that's nice.
Magically.
You can understand my confusion to why people do this to themselves.
Yeah.
But, it's
because
the
we
same,
love them.
It's
right,
love.
and it's
It's
the
love.
same as like when you guys have babies and you got to baby-proof your house,
Yeah, but at least
I'll do the pee-pee pads for babies too,
So,
probably.
Yeah.
Just
So-
lay the baby.
Little
the
girls will
baby
pee
bed.
up your walls.
So
Oh, for sure.
let's talk about the babies. There is a small chance that our babies will grow up and benefit us in the future. like they could happen.
As long as you
Most of
put
the
it
time, it's not going to happen.
I feel pretty confident on mine. I'm sitting pretty
Wait a minute,
right
so
now.
you had kids so you could benefit off them later?
No.
I think I got a sure bet that
It's
somebody's going to
something-
be pushing my wheelchair. I'm good to go.
I've created 2 humans that could.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah, but they're
it's
like
a
you.
small
But they're
chance.
just like you.
But
No,
we've
yeah,
seen your
well,
boys
that's
and they
a-
have zero motivation.
I'm saying saying
they
a
don't
small
even
chance.
know you're their dad.
Yeah, I'm saying a small chance, but I mean, like even if I up the chances of possibly winning the lottery just by pure numbers.
That's true.
They
That's
could play.
That is
anyway,
true.
they could benefit me in the future. Maybe buy me a house. One of them could
Buy
get
you a
famous.
house?
You know,
Okay.
you buy your dad like I bought my old man a
I
house.
bought my dad a trailer.
In the future, I assume that I'm going to be in poverty.
Yeah, well, me too.
And divorced. You know, like
Oh, you have the studio. You guys could sleep here,
no,
right?
this will be
Oh,
gone.
that'll be
This will be
gone.
gone.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
But you'll keep the dead
Okay,
animals.
At that point, Daniel will be full pee dog.
Well, I don't live with Andrew anymore. It's just me and my warehouse of dogs.
I just sent you a picture of the pee pad room,
Okay.
by the way, just so
right.
you are aware that I'm not a
Man, do
liar.
I want to look. Oh my god!
But your pee dog will.
Oh
only,
my god!
He will only pee more.
I'll just hold this
Yeah,
up.
but
with
they could become
Look, do you see
TikTok
it?
famous. My dog
see
has
that?
its own Instagram
Full
and
corner.
TikTok now, and we're blowing up, bro.
Yeah,
You
but you
are?
got to do all the work.
Lucky.
To get your dog the monies.
Yeah, does Carl
I'm
have
working
do
on it. I'm working on it.
Does Carl have an Instagram or
You gotta
No,
get one.
I can barely put content on my own Instagram, so I just can't imagine
Yeah.
starting out Carl's
know.
Instagram. But I mean, you know how radio works. I'll have that as a plan B for sure.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it.
I don't know how to get a dog Instagram famous. I'm I imagine it has to be extra cute or
My
some-
dog is extra cute.
You gotta-
that's what everybody thinks about their kids.
You gotta post a lot. You gotta post a lot.
I think my kids are the cutest. Guess what? Everybody else thinks.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that.
Let's talk a little bit about the history, not to turn too directly, but let's talk a little bit about the history of Just Okay and how. So we're Just Okay 8.
We are.
Did this?
What year was the Yin Yang Twins? The 5? That was pre-pandemic.
Wait, which
right?
one?
Yin Yang Twins.
Oh, the Yin Yang was
They were
pre-pandemic.
too rich for our blood.
Yeah, they priced us out.
Yeah, they priced us out.
We had a meeting with them and no, that was Two Life Crew.
Yeah.
Two Live Crew was very expensive.
We had a meeting with Two
we
Life
could have
Crew,
afforded 2 Life Crew,
but they got mad at us, right? Because
No.
you canceled their big booty dancers.
No, it was
What?
just no. We had a.
Or you didn't want to get a hotel for him or something? You were cheaping
They
out
wanted
on
to fly
It,
him in.
it was like $5,000 at the end of the day, and then I made the call. I was like, no, thank you.
That's not a bad
And then the
price
guy-
for Two Live
and
Crew.
then
It
the
is,
guy-
but I was like, is anybody?
That's a great rate for
And
Two
it's
Live
a
Crew.
man-
I was like, what about $2,000 crew?
I don't know if
Just
you
the
and I
crew.
have said this. I don't know if we've told the
Well,
story. And then after that, for months, this guy would blow up Tom's phone. He was like their manager.
He's like, how about-
Like, he was like Stanky.
Yeah.
He was like their manager, Stanky. And it would be like, hey, we're coming back into town. How about, and he'd
Yeah.
throw, and then
know
he'd
what-
still throw some shade at you for canceling. I
Well, you know
remember
what it
that.
was? I got all excited. I was like, Two Life Crew, and then I was like, just for the comedy
name,
of it,
just
the
for the
name
name,
and
yeah.
stuff like.
Sure.
But then,
No original members.
when it came down to the actual hard cost of like, all right, I'm gonna have to write this guy, with a half
Yeah.
up front, half of $2,500, and then I
That's
was,
what's Yin Yang. We did half a check and they demanded cash.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
the
yeah.
demand of
So I'm
cash.
gonna have
Thanks
to.
a lot, James Brown.
I'm gonna have to go to the bank. and-
I get it.
I'm gonna put.
It's too hard to chase people down for checks. You guys know.
Yeah,
Get that
I
cash
do.
up front.
I do know.
But then I was like, it's just gonna be a sea of our own listeners anyway, and then
So we got Steve Kramer to play piano.
Oh, wait, somebody clip
It was
that
just
and-
as good.
Somebody just clip us laughing after you said, Steve Kramer, playing piano. And then we're all like, ah.
Because you know what
He'll love that. He'll love that.
Because then I go out
He doesn't
there
listen.
and I'm looking at Mike B and EJ and I'm like, hey, you like Two Life Crew? Like, yeah.
They're
but,
like, it's okay.
But like, we would have came for you guys or whoever. Like, we would have just showed up for whoever anyway. And I was like, oh, God damn it.
that's,
We could have actually had money.
Absolutely the case for Just Okay 8 on March 16th. So just show up for whoever.
Well, that'll be more fun, though.
Yeah,
like in a lot of
sure.
ways, like
Our budget has significantly changed.
there's nothing I.
They're
hated-
showing up for you.
Yeah,
No,
there's-
Sean and Sealand are doing their own bit. They're like, we're not doing the national headliner, but how about Sean and Sealand make up a brand new band? They don't have a name for it.
Wait, they're doing a
That's
band.
that
So what
more.
do they
A
play?
band.
What does Sean play?
Great question.
Oh, you don't know? Okay.
No idea.
Oh, this makes me
It's
want to
very
come
mysterious.
to see the band.
See,
You were gonna come?
Sabrina. So this is what. So this is what happens. I think of course, like everybody wants for you to go above and beyond, but at the end of the day, everybody keeps telling us they're like. It's like us with the interviews and the stuff like they're like, hey, we just want to hear you talk. I'm like, well, that's easier.
Yeah, of course.
And then they're like, well,
You'd think.
and
But
then,
it's a bit of a mind F because we say that, but then we'll start doing it. It'll just be you and me sitting here talking,
that's
and then
us.
I'll be like, I'll get in my own head. I'll be like, They don't want this.
Yeah.
This isn't what they
But they
want.
tell us they want it, and then so they want to show up for you guys, and so
And
that's all.
that's what we're banking on this year. So
Yeah,
everyone show up for that. But
That's
when
good.
it came to like Yin Yang Twins, I went to their show like at a local venue, and it was the most random place that they could have been. Me and 100 people were there.
It was at Mission Barbecue.
It was like
They made them stop in the middle of the concert and stand for the national anthem.
Was that mac and cheese night?
it was.
It might
I don't
have been
know.
there.
It was.
They made them de-whisper the national anthem.
But I was like, how would you guys like to get paid $600 more than you got paid here? And we got a great deal with them. Smoked a little medical marijuana, and
Really?
boom, there they were, just okay.
That's a cool thing to
Then
do.
we had the same kind of deal with Rest in Peace Coolio, where it was just like, we happened to get him. Great rate. Who ruined national headliners for Just Okay? Juvenile.
Juvenile,
Oh, really?
Juvie.
Juvenile backed our
Back that thing out?
budget up so far that we will not ever do that again. He did a solid 20 minutes, didn't even see the man, but he certainly enjoyed the particular liquor we had to buy him. And with that, Just Okay, it's going to be full, very old school, like we used to do it.
Yeah.
Freak show elements, very fun party style. We have a baby sloth.
Oh, baby sloth.
And I think that's going to be a real, like,
Wait a minute. Is that me?
yeah, it's you.
Am I the
actually.
baby
I
sloth?
forgot to
Dan
tell you.
dressed as a
You know,
sloth.
like
And we're going
standing
to
up
put you
there
in a tiny
costume.
little gold grave.
Now you do have to pump up the budget some
I
way.
was going to say pump up the volume. And I was going to have to leave.
Yeah, I was prepared for
gonna
him to
have
just
to
start
leave.
like,
Never mind.
how's my runner man? How's my runner
I
man?
should have said pump up the volume.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume.
Dance.
Well, I'm just saying you have to keep the budget a little high, or iHeart's going to be like, "Oh, this is your way lower budget. That's the new one."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the new standard.
Yeah.
The new standard. So you have to like just throw in some extra at the last minute just to get it to.
Just, you got to get Juvenile back.
My favorite part is just like when we have to send the numbers for certain things to put onto the expense list. I'm like, yes, so I bought 50 inflatable aliens, but trust me, it's gonna work. Right? They're gonna love it. They'll take it home.
So much Chinese garbage. I'm glad you guys buy Chinese garbage too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know for sure yet it's from China, but shout out to China.
It's,
for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It'll
It's,
get there.
it's definitely
Oh, it's from there.
a variation.
Is
You
it
know.
made from plastic, China?
As long as little kids are making it for
China,
two
number one with fumes. I think
They
that's
love
They
plastic.
love the fumes.
Not so much wood. Hard to get wood in China.
They're not wood people.
No.
Or steel. No wood or steel. Plastic.
What are we talking about?
I
All
don't
right.
I don't know.
So you can get tickets at realradio.fm/justokay, correct?
That is correct. Yeah, and it
Looks like
will.
VIP is sold out.
It is. It got
So GA tickets available now.
still available, and then we have like that. It's a little startling, but know that rate of $200 for GA tickets is all the fees included.
All right.
It's also not $200. All three of you were so silent that I just.
God damn, you better have Juvie for $200.
Scared.
That was a
Like,
prank.
oh my god!
I didn't want to be like.
I wanted to grab my megaphone like, ah!
I stopped breathing.
You would you stop the recording. You're like, I don't know if we can post this.
I was like, well,
it's not
it could be that.
$200.
She's like, we pulled back a lot of the show, and it's just old school $200. I was like, ugh.
We made it
Yeah,
more.
we got a line that we have to cross. No, it is way less than $200, but that's all, the fees included, and then walk up, of course, we'll have available, hopefully. If
I'm a
not,
walk-up guy. I like to go there and just get my ticket and be
well, in that
with
case, $200 for Daniel Dennis.
Yeah,
Why
Now
not?
you get it cheaper, but you get it before. Walk-up is always more expensive, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm, like,
day of,
I'm
yeah.
always
Yeah.
like undecided with everything I do. I'm like,
Well, that doesn't help.
I'm like, do I want to go out and be scared of humanity? Or no, I'm
It'll
going.
be scary.
I'm going.
That's for sure. I'm scared.
So I know we've talked to you about this before, Sabrina, but the day of these events, how bad is it for you? Because does it start early and late? When it's finally over, you're like, oh, God.
Are you the stage manager, for lack of a different way of putting it? or-
Fortunately, we have a stage manager, a good friend of the show, Radio Michael 7, and
nice.
he's done it in the past for us. So there was like a lot that I've done leading up to it. It's amazing how many jobs that I've learned to do. Like right now, I am backstage caterer. as well as working on the guest list and something with insurance and W-9s. But Radio Michael 7, I've told him, this is all yours after Friday.
There you go.
So that is my plan, and then I'm going to focus on Sabby's Little Helper's performance. We've been practicing since October of last year.
New songs?
New songs. We got 2 originals coming out that should slap. And then a lot of old school sing-alongs, 2 of which that I'm hoping everyone sings along because I'm having a hard time with the lyrics.
Grandma, are you doing, or by chance you're doing John Denver's Grandma's Feather Bed?
Did you see my set list?
I may have taken a wee peek.
But that's going to open a mashup with F the Police.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Dedicated Blue Lives.
We should have a band.
Do you guys want to be on this? Okay, we have no budget.
Are we the only show
That
on Real
doesn't
Radio
have a
now
band.
that doesn't have a band?
And we can all play.
Is the news junkie forcing us into having a band
Jim
now?
Colbert doesn't do it. So,
Okay.
Does he not play
Big
guitar
golf.
on his show?
I don't
well,
think he
only
does.
during breaks.
Does he still
Does
do
that
it?
not count?
I don't know.
I don't think they do, but I do remember back in like the days when we all worked together at some point that
we had a band.
you would just see Jimmy propped up, one leg up, and just playing
Noodle.
guitar.
Yeah.
Just noodling around.
I don't even bring a
Yeah.
guitar here because I don't want you guys to make fun of me because I would do that.
That
How about a
reminds
tiny
me
drum set?
to yell at Jimmy of why. I mean, that was a sweet gig. They just put your leg up
Yeah,
and
what
play
are you
guitar
doing, man?
most
Put
of the
your leg
day.
up, man.
Always put that leg
If you
up.
didn't
And now
want to
he's-
talk, you didn't have to talk.
Yeah, now he's stressing out. He's got to come up with topics.
Oh, my
You'll
God.
read all the things.
Yeah. I mean, it must be hard just to collect woke news. You know how much woke news? You're going to collect piles of woke news.
He could have put his leg up and play guitar.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's way better.
I love co-hosting. I'll never go away from it.
Oh,
all
it's
day.
so great.
I'm just like, all right, ooh.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Ambition hurts all of us. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you want to get ahead. Sometimes
I
you
have
don't.
moments like that. Like, just, I'm like, I'm going to start Brandon next week, and I am motivated, and we're going to level up, and then come Monday, I'm like, I'm pretty cool here. I'll stay here forever.
Good enough.
Yeah. I get weekend motivation where I power up over the weekends where I'm like going into the week, crushing it. And by Friday, I'm like coasting into the weekend again.
All set. I'll do this until I'm dead. And at a tiny gold coffin in Tom and Dan studio.
You didn't say it. I was going to say it.
And then Daniel will wheel you out to the new Dennisville.
Well, you honestly think that she's going to die before me? No.
No.
way.
Let's put some bets on.
No way.
I have a death bet with a couple listeners. I don't know if you know this.
Tell
on
me
me?
more.
No, me, Carl Tully, and some random BDM. We can't figure out who. We were all drunk when we did it, but
Okay.
whoever dies, we made a death bet.
Okay. Weird. I love that.
For I think it's $10,000. We all have to pay. Like whoever the person that dies first. We have to collect from their,
Spouse or something? Or their family?
Driving their Suburban out of the driveway. Sorry, he owes me.
It's whoever lives longest
taking your house.
What the hell?
I got to be honest with you guys. I've always wanted to drive. I've always wanted to drive a dead man's motorcycle out of his garage and smoking a cigarette, drive into my new house, park it. Andrew's like, "Where'd you get that?" I was like, "Funny you should ask."
Dead guy.
Made a dead bet with this guy. He died.
Well, in that case, let's do that, and I'll take the Vespa.
Kids couldn't pay up.
Yeah.
Kids couldn't pay up. They're like, what? I'm like, what do you got? They're like, well, we have Dad's motorcycle. I'm like, I'll let you keep the saddlebags.
How long do you wait till you collect from Andrew Daniels Festival?
How long do you wait? So I die.
You give it a,
After
And
the
which one
funeral,
do you
I'm
want?
going to squeeze by.
Do you want the
swing
classic?
by our house.
The classic's not finished. Do you want the classic?
No, do the one that's ready to ride.
Okay, it's a Ruckus.
The Ruckus,
2017
yeah.
Ruckus,
Ruckus.
Seminole Power Sports. That thing's cherry.
So this is our official bet. Thank you for the inspiration.
So I like this. So
Yeah.
if I die, you want my scooter.
I have the scooter, and then
Done.
if I die first,
You get the pee-pee
I want
dog.
you
Carl.
get the pee-pee
I want Carl.
dog with the pee-pee room, and then I have
I
like
don't
a
want the room.
tiny pocket motorcycle that
I do want that. I want Carl and the motorcycle, and I'll
Yeah.
give you my scooter.
it flies.
It's probably faster than my scooter. My scooter's very slow, but it's a quality.
Also race, and then we both die at the same time.
Oh,
You guys
who
figure
gets
it
Carl?
out.
Who gets Carl? Then that's the rule.
All right, no
if
problem.
we both die,
That's a punishment
you
for
get
you,
Carl.
Tom.
You get Carl.
whatever you give me, I'll give away.
No, your son's
just
Carl's really cute.
He is cute.
He's like
hung like a horse.
You go, hey, little dogs are.
yeah.
Dansby's got that too. Like Dansby is a shower, not a grower.
I know a lady that rescues Judy's pets.
Is it Sam or is it Judy?
And she will get that, whatever you give me.
All right, plug it one more time. buddy.
It's the Just Okay 8 party going on March 16th. It's at the Plaza Live, which is a great venue.
They just redid it, by the way.
Yeah, I was
So
there
we're-
last night.
And
We're going to get a bunch of dirty things all up on their brand new stage.
I love that.
Sabrina, go over the show lineup just so everybody knows.
So we have Young Tapes. They're a great,
God, they're a good
great band.
wonderful band.
Really good band.
They know how to party. Very professional, and I think it's going to be like a great old school. We'll call it classic rock, but it's really not that from that long ago.
It's just fun
we're
rock.
old now.
Yeah.
We have the Shabooms, a huge fan,
Yeah.
soul funk.
wow.
We love those guys. We've
awesome.
had them play 3 of our events.
Oh, they're
A couple,
wonderful.
yeah, they are awesome.
Yeah. One counts as the Orlando City because they played a big Orlando City party for us. I love those guys.
We have my band, Sabby's Little Helpers. We just do one show a year, and we're super excited to play. Then we have the unnamed Sean and C Lane band. We're going to have some freak show elements. Willow Lauren is her name, and I haven't figured out exactly what she's doing yet, but it's something that we need insurance for. So it should be, right?
Oh my God! Is this somebody
Something's
with,
going
like-
in her mouth.
Oh, okay.
sword.
Oh, her
my
Instagram
God.
is Willow Lauren Flexi Bell.
Hey,
So she'll
I'm
be
gonna
doing
lift this cinder block with my labia.
Wait, no, that's my bit. And we have a baby sloth that'll be there. It was justcallmo.com, a big sponsor, so I don't know what he has planned, but it should be something. And
Is he part of the band? I hope that C Lane and
so.
Sean come out like as a 2-guitar.
they won't
like
tell
a
me
Kiss-
anything.
A
Singer.
Kiss tribute band.
No, I
with
want
face
singer
paint.
songwriter. Like I want like
I
John
want
Mayer.
ICP tribute.
No, I want like John
C-Lane
Mayer.
will be carrying the entire
hope
thing. I
He's
promise.
talented. I mean,
I hope
C-Lane's super
Mo
talented.
executes the baby sloth.
I hope Mo dresses up as a
Just
baby
launches
sloth.
it. No,
Like how?
that would be
How do you want him to
awful.
do it?
Sword.
The baby
Like a
sloth.
like a
yes.
samurai
Christ,
sword.
man.
Like a samurai sword.
Oh,
Its name is Toothless because it was born with no teeth.
Oh my God!
Cutest baby
It's great,
sloth.
yeah.
Oh, he's a
So we're
toothless-
trying to raise money for some baby sloth dentures.
Oh, get him big ones though, so he looks like Gary Delabate from the Stern Show.
Gary Goosey teeth. Let's go.
Get him the huge like.
Gary's have big teeth.
Write that down. Write that down. You can have. That's the name of Sean and C Lane's
Gary's have
band.
big-
Gary's have big teeth.
But yeah, at realradio.fm for tickets, and I hope you guys can all join. Thank
Yeah,
you so
man.
much for having
I'll
me.
be there.
Awesome. Thanks, Sabrina. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.